What's up, boys? What's happening? Ooh, crazy shit is happening, dude. Crazy shit is happening. Ha! You thought, huh? I fell asleep, right? Фу. Молозова хуйня ебана, блядь. Anyway. Here's what's up, right? Stream ends. I go to sleep. I browse TikTok for a couple hours before I actually fall asleep. And I start like... I like sleep on this side or that side. Like I usually sleep on the side. And then the wire from my braces is just scratching my fucking mouth, and it's the only thing I can think about. And when you have something inside your mouth that is like, it's not like part of your body or whatever, your tongue just like wants to remove that, dude. You can't control it. It's like a food stuck in your in your teeth, you know. It's like you're always trying to like remove it with the tongue. You're like you know, stuff like that. So the tongue constantly goes there. Exactly like that. So and it's super annoying, and it irritates, and it's like just, it's horrible feeling. And the upsetting thing about it, you can't do anything about it, and you know that you will have to go somewhere, like you have to schedule a fucking appointment, and it's a fucking pain in the ass, right? So I thought fuck it, I'm gonna clip it myself. I had clippers. I took clippers. I tried to clip. I broke my clippers. Like it actually, like the wire is like titanium or some shit, so like it's really difficult to like snap it. And instead I snapped my clippers inside my mouth, and it scratched my fucking shit, dude. It wasn't good, but it did nothing too bad. But like I spit out a half of the clipper, so I was like, oh fuck, I'm fucked. I have to get rid of it. It's fucked. So I called to the orthodontist. I think it's orthodontist, right? Velociraptor, whatever the fuck. I call him and I'm like, bro, shit is fucked. I gotta like snap. I have to visit you. And they're like, yeah, you can come today. And I'm like, oh my god, thank God. So I went there. It literally took less than like 2 minutes. I think, you know, when you sit in the chair and they start to like, they start to like put the chair into the gear, and you're like slowly like going backward. I think that took a lot more time than them snapping the wire. Anyway, they snapped the wire a little bit, applied some stuff to like irritated area so it would like heal up quicker or whatever. And oh my god, it just feels so good. Like, you know how when shit is super fucked, you're like very upset, but if it becomes like a little bit better, so like, for example, braces, right? Living without braces is fucking fantastic, guys, right? But when they put them on and then something else irritates your mouth, when that thing is removed, you're like, you know, these braces ain't so bad, dude. But oh my god, these like little things. Bro, if you ever gonna put braces, make sure that you will like move your mouth, you will like move your tongue everywhere, so that you will feel that there's absolutely no retention. Like there's no discomfort, because man, fucking sucks. So that's one story I had for you. Now I have another story. So I sit at home, right? Ooh, I have some. So I sit at home, right? I work, whatever. And all of a sudden, I hear thum. I was like, what the fuck? And it was like, what, 2 a.m. or some shit? It's like, what the fuck was that? I look out the window, and I don't see anything. I was like, okay, that was fucking weird. Today, I'm sitting, and I hear thum. Bro, I look out the window, and it's a Burba. Dude, the Burba hit my window. Not the first time already. What's happening? Just birds smash into my fucking windows. What the fuck? Dumbass motherfucker, it's a building. I don't live in a glass fucking dome. How can you not see it? Anyway. It's the second time. It's the second time it happened, so. Yeah, it was kind of scary because it feels like you know, something exploded and you get like a wave, sound wave hits your window, kind of similar. And it's so sudden and shit. My blinds closed. I don't have blinds. I have lookers. Get it? A lot of people put stickers on their windows to prevent them from doing that. I know that you can also make like a pattern, like on your window or some shit. I watched a TikTok today. Apparently you can, if you have a, guys, this is a life pro tip to everyone here who has a chicken coop. If you have a chicken coop, you can buy paint and paint the net on the chicken coop. And you're not gonna see the net. It becomes like invisible to the naked eye. It's like just black paint, I think. It's crazy, it just kind of disappears. It's such a cool video. But oh yeah. I received a notification today that Bard is available in Ukraine. I tried it already. Honestly, I pay for ChatGPT, and when you pay for ChatGPT, I don't think anything else is kind of worth using. Because plugins on the GPT are just fucking fantastic. Do I have a link or something? Oh, to like a thing? You have a chicken coop? Yeah, wasn't there literally like somebody called it that in an article? Let me see. Maybe I have a TikTok with it. Wanna see TikToks that I liked, guys? This is crazy. Apparently this is real. But I don't know. I think it's real. Bro, why is it showing me? This is Jared Leto on Maidan 2014. I didn't know he was there. Yeah, just black paint, yeah. English only in the chat, you fucking degen. And people have been saying that he actually visits Kiev very often. Secret fan? Who's this guy? Jared Leto! Jordan Lychee? It's Morbius. He said, back in 2014, he said, it's Maidan time. Didn't you see? What else did I like? Oh yeah, yeah, this is cool. Look at this. You know, it's not that technology is stupid, it's people who implement the technology. Like, why would you make this? This is so stupid. Me when I'm your mom when I'm when I'm with your mom. True. POV, we both missed our train. I mean, it's kind of. I thought this was funny. People who make like the original shit that he's reacting to, or like doing this skit. Holy fucking cringe, dude.
I am not. I am not. I am.
The guy decided to finish the job, dude.
Not.
Don't half-ass it, man.
Hey, Bobby, look, I'm American.
I think I'll use my credit card. Do you guys have anything non-dairy? Anything gluten-free?
Hey, Bobby, look.
Maroon 5. Steak, medium rare. Grand Jeep Cherokee. Bass fishing. Look at his tiny stupid teeth, dude. Bro. The smart monkey feeds a chicken. Look at his drip too. No, not his like fucking vampire teeth. The little stupid teeth that are like in the middle. Look. They're friends. This must be like a folk story, right? Chicken, monkey, and a dog. Just puts a fucking hand on the face. Monkey. Looks for bugs in a chicken.
Right, I'll tell you what, you fat little cunt.
British distortion. War is over?
Right,
No!
I'll tell you what, you fat little cunt.
Yo, this is crazy. This is an art installation. Am I right? Any people from Kiev? Because this is crazy, dude. Look. Yeah, this is an art installation. That's I like it a lot. I think this is really cool. You don't appreciate art, motherfuckers. I don't know why I'm showing this to you.
Oh my god.
This is kind of crazy. Yeah, anyone can post a link. I just don't click them. if I don't want to.
And nobody's in the car.
Yo, this is like a future car. Remember the
So I'm taking
Total
this
Recall?
Waymo to work. So it has my initials on the top.
You have arrived.
just post it in
Alright,
chat.
hold on, y'all. Oh God. Okay.
Bro, I would love this, dude.
Oh wow, y'all, this is so weird.
Hello from Waymo. As we get going, just give us 1 minute.
I like regular taxi way more.
Yo, this is so funny.
No, I like this more.
My people though.
Where is this? Probably fucking California or some shit. Rural Russia. Right. This is what happened. Sometimes in Russia this happens. It's not an autonomous car, but
For any questions, you can find helpful info in the Waymo app, like how we keep our cars safe and
beautiful. This will be the future. Well, if we're gonna live in like mega cities, probably public transport is still gonna be the
So I
future.
will say that.
But this is pretty cool.
It didn't get on the highway, so it kind of took the back way. So if you do use these, just kind of be mindful of your time. I'm still gonna get there on time at 2:43. So
Trains did for years. Sure, I
nobody's
mean,
arriving. Yeah, nobody's here with me. But
who's going to
myself,
spill their
and
dumb
I
fuck
have
political
music
takes
that I
on me
can
now? What do you consider a
listen
stupid
to,
political take? An example of that, please.
They have a map view. It's showing you where, so that's.
It's mostly on
Mine
pre-planned
is-
routes. That's fine.
And then they have music.
Hello. You can play music if you want, your own music, and fucking
temperature.
put the fucking sound up and shit. I love this. You know, I hope they're gonna make, like,
And
in the
that was
future,
it.
it's not gonna be like a big car like this, right? It's going to be a car with open space, with a way smaller footprint, right? The summit went alright. We'll talk about it today. This is also kind of cool. Little Yachty.
It's us. I been falling. I was eager.
In Poland.
It's us.
You've also been on record about English
Okay, we
food
saw
being
this.
better than American.
This is
What would
funny,
you
though.
classify as American food? Let's just talk about that.
I immediately think about barbecue, so hamburgers,
Okay, hamburger is German. From Hamburg, what else would you consider American food?
French fries.
I mean, come on. People who do these interviews, they're fucking dumb as fuck. Come on, let's be real, right? The future is public transport. The future is, okay, teleportation, right? Imagine they made teleportation. Would you use it? I would not use it. Depends on how it works, bruh. If it's like fucking like clones me just in a different place, yeah, I ain't doing that. They would kill. They would kill me. Putin already lost war in Ukraine, Biden says. Bro, everyone knew this. Again, do I have to say this? Russia lost the war when they failed to capture Kyiv in 3 days. They lost the war after they offered negotiations, which happened 24 hours. Before the end of 24 hours, it happened the next day, basically, after the invasion. Russia offered negotiations to Ukraine, which were kind of like ultimatums, obviously, but still. Remember when the negotiation parties went? When somebody attacks a country and then has negotiations in a day, you know that it didn't went how they expected it. At that point, it was just a snowball effect. Like, people... Listen, I am Ukrainian and I am biased, okay? Giga Chad. I will recognize that. But... you can see that it is true. This is a fact. This is how it's been happening. And there's like no like, this is not just my bias. This is like a fact, right? No, Emery, I ate. No need to send more money for weapons. Do you understand that every shell that Ukraine receives is a saved soldier in Ukrainian army? saved civilian pretty much. The faster we kill them all, the better. We're gonna have the MRE. Don't worry, I'll tell you when. I'm confused. You don't have any weapons to send, or what? Just quick question. Just curious, you know. You're really short on weapons. You need weapons for yourself. Are you fighting any wars? Just curious, you know. Just asking. Just asking questions, you know. For the homeless. Oh, that's right. True. I forgot. I don't know if Norway has that much more spares, to be honest. You know that weapons can be made, right? It's not that there's like a finite amount of weapons that just exists, right? And you also know that, well, hopefully you know. If you don't know, I'll educate you. The agreements that Western countries have with Ukraine promise weapon deliveries even after the war. You know that, right? Because since Ukraine is going to be part of NATO, we will have to have Western weaponry. So it's going to be easier to train the troops, service them, buy new ammunition and stuff like that. So even when the war is going to end, we're still going to receive weapons. And that's a good thing for the West and for Ukraine. Kind of like a win-win scenario. Because when Ukraine is going to be part of NATO, like, all those weapons are basically staying within the alliance, right? They're being sent to Ukraine to use, but you get people who use them in real combat conditions, who give information about the combat effectiveness of or this or that weapon. Imagine how incredibly expensive that information is, pretty much. What if Ukraine, fighting a big war, says, you know what, you have like 5 different howitzers. This one is the best. This one is the best. It showed the best capabilities. It shows like that it's easier to fix. It's mobile. It's accurate. It shoots far, you know. This one is the best. And it's like, okay, so let that country that is making that howitzer now make the howitzers, right, for the whole NATO. This is not a proxy war of America, you dumbass motherfucker. It has nothing to do with America. America is just like a shop where you go and buy weapons, okay? Just because America has the biggest army in the world, by virtue of that, if you are having the biggest army in the world, you will be the leading country that supports other countries with weaponry, if you have agreements, of course. Proxy war is a completely different thing. Proxy war is when you're using another country to wage the war for you. But Ukraine is not waging any wars for somebody else. We only do it for ourselves. Until we're in NATO, of course, then it's a different thing. If there's going to be a war, we'll have to participate in. We'll have to, as a part of the alliance. But it has nothing to do with... Have bigger issues here as well? There's no bigger issues. Are you fucking thick? Proxy war is funding it in Ukraine? That's not a proxy war. Just because we do good international politics and we have good international presence doesn't mean that those countries are doing a proxy war against Russia. They're funding Ukraine and they're funding the weapons and they're providing weapons for Ukraine, but not because they wanted to fight Russia. They just don't want Ukraine to lose. Because Ukraine is not degenerate regime that invades other countries. It just makes sense, you know, if you think about it more than 30 seconds. And when you think about it for like a minute and a half, you will realize that there's no more pressing matter issue right now. All wars were funded by other countries. The countries help each other, that's normal. Even in World War II, right? Like, Germany had allies. The Allies had the Allies, right? They're literally called the fucking Allies. No need for name calling. My guy, if after a year and a half of a brutal invasion of Russia against Ukraine, you're still like asking questions and you're not sure about things, you're either like unironically mentally challenged or you're bad faith moron, so. Nobody funded Romans. I mean, was that like, that wasn't countries though, right? Well, actually, when you roll back the tape, you'll see that I'm saying countries. Back then, the countries didn't really exist as a concept. Not asking, I'm saying. Well, then you're a bad faith moron. What else do you want? You're just wrong. Saying that America has bigger problems than what's going on in Ukraine in regards to like military conflicts? No. What are you gonna do? Like send the money, send the weapons to homeless people, or give them to poor people as handouts? Like, what are you saying? You know that the money that America spends on military assistance to Ukraine actually goes to America, right? You know that. You pay yourself to send the weapons. That's not my opinion, that's a fact. America basically says, okay, we need like $30 billion for we need like $30 billion for weapons to Ukraine. They get that money, they pay their own military-industrial complex, and military-industrial complex has like a price list of different equipment, and they basically, on that money, they're sending equipment. Because we can't just get $30 billion and then just buy equipment, really, because the biggest equipment suppliers are the Western countries and America, of course. So what is the point of us taking money from you guys and then buying equipment from you? It's kind of like the same shit would happen, right? But instead it's just going through internally. Bro, who are you talking to? Are you talking to me? Or are you talking to chat? The war in Ukraine creates jobs in US. Not even jobs, like the equipment that is being sent to Ukraine is mostly older weaponry that America wanted to, in the case of M113s, they wanted to get rid of them completely. This way they can sell it, basically, to them, well, to themselves, but still. And modernize their own equipment. Yeah, you can read, listen, you can just go read articles. I'm not, you know, if you don't believe me. You and anyone in the chat being disrespectful towards me, bro, I don't want to brag, but I did some boxing myself. If you unironically want to like fight me, just know, obviously it's not gonna happen, but just know I would slap my fucking nuts on your pussy lips, dude, okay? And then I would smash your pussy into oblivion, alright? I would fucking cum in you gallons. I wouldn't even ask. I PvP'd today in Diablo 4. And the guy was so upset he started DMing me like that I killed him, and he's like, ah! And it like when you put bad words in chat, it just jumbles it into pizza. Into pizza. I read the tomato pasta. I'm sorry, my brain goes. It jumbles it into symbols and shit. I don't know, for some reason I thought of pizza. I don't know. It's very hard to say something and read at the same time. You will fly me out? Okay, donate to my stream $1,000. How much is the ticket from Ukraine to America? Like $1,500? You will have to buy me ticket in both ways though. $3,000 donation right now and I'll beat your ass in America. Okay. Let's look at the news. I'm catching up real quick. Creator Clash 3, easy, dude. Bro, listen, I live in a country that has war, you know, explosions and missiles flying. I don't give a fuck. Beating somebody's ass? Fuck, I don't care. Wouldn't even blink an eye. Okay. Let's start with a post that is just I thought it was really funny. Oh no, this post was removed. Fucking knew it, dude. Wait. I found it. But they did remove it though. I'll show you like I'll show you. So a person posts on anti-work, one of the most degenerate subreddits on Reddit, right? $35 an hour and still broke. 31 years of age now, been working full-time since I was 16-year-old. Never had the privilege to formally educate myself. I would go homeless otherwise. Rent is about $25,000 a year for my 800 square feet apartment. There's no end to the abuse. I spent my whole 20s bootstrapping and having faith in a system that only takes and does not give. Blah blah blah, lives in the USA, blah blah blah. I make about 50 to 55,000 a year depending on certain variables. I do have a car loan, blah 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 blah. Somebody goes through this guy's profile and here's what they find. This is the same person fucking posting this. Oh my god, dude. I was laughing my fucking ass off. This is the person. Spends money on this fucking shit and complains that doesn't have enough money to like for basic necessities. What a pathetic little fucking worthless worm. Fucking cringe, dude. And here's what here's what I wanted to say, right? Here's what I wanted to say. On the internet, you can see a lot of crazy shit, right? And if you're an ideologue, right? You are subscribed to a specific ideology, like these people in this anti-work subreddit. Shit like this can get upvoted to the fuck. 72% of upvotes. Person who complains about the system being bad, while in reality, he's the fucking moron, right? But because it plays into their worldview, people like it and they share it and they, like, you know, consume it. Don't be like this. Don't be like this. Don't subscribe to any ideology, right? If you're reading something and it makes you like, oh, giggly and stuff like, yeah, I like it, true, go queen, or whatever the fuck, right? Like, remember that it just might be a fucking moron, and you're just like following some completely unhinged shit like fucking anti-work, bro. A subreddit for those who want to end work. Listen, I understand that you can have a shitty job, right? I understand that. But think about it like, what would you do otherwise? Listen, I've been unemployed for an extended periods of time. It's fun for a little bit, but then you're kind of like, you don't even know what to do, right? When you find a good job, doesn't mean that it's specifically gonna make you earn a lot of money, but you can enjoy it. You can feel like you're actually doing something. You can feel like you're useful to society. And it is. When you're part of the workforce, you're doing something. You're making something happen, which is great. If it's something useful, more power to you. People are fucking lazy, don't do research, and don't give a fuck. I'm not against people who, like, don't do research and don't give a fuck. I think that's fine. I'm against people who don't do research and give a fuck, right? Or like, and they speak about things with such conviction and they have no fucking clue what they're talking about. I hate that the most, and it's so much on the internet. It's like, I wanted to pretend that every fucking degen comment I've seen online is just some kid writing some shit, right? But I don't know, man. It's just so many people. Here's the thing. Maybe here's how I think about internet, right? If somebody posts something dumb, it's a kid. Always, right? And if somebody makes something dumb, if somebody makes something dumb, they're a grifter. They're just there to earn money, to fucking look at the news articles, right? Look at the articles. Clickbait title. The content itself might be all right, but the title, many people don't read past it. And it's just actually like dumb, because you need something like that to catch people's attention. When something like Fresh and Fit happens, right? When they invite fucking fascists on their shows, they just care about the views. They don't give a fuck about anything else. They care about clicks. They care about views. Only that, right? They're grifting. They don't care about anything else. And it's just, this audience watches this audience, right? And it's like normal people. I don't think that normal people are in this circle, right? Normal people have normal, like, jobs, right? They're actual productive members of society. I don't think they participate in this. They may watch this shit for, like, entertainment reasons. But dumb kids are the ones that, like, create the majority of the views, majority of the engagement, comments, and shit like that. People with jobs and commitments don't have time to participate in here, right? So that's how I think about it, and it kind of makes me a little bit calmer. I don't think that everyone is fucking insane, and it's just like grifters and kids that create the most noise on the internet. So I don't take these people seriously. But it does make me sad sometimes that, you know, so much attention is... Because on the internet, you don't see. I wish you saw the age on the internet. I think it would have been so fucking nice. The main question, the Morshinska in my fridge. How many MREs I have left to try? I have one, which is Canada, but I also have more MREs, more different menus from the same countries that we've tried, and some MREs that we've tried, we only tried one meal, so we have the second meal to try. So we have plenty of content. We have plenty of mukbang content. So, but I actually thought about it recently. Remember how I said that we need to not allow children on the internet? I think a really good way to stop them from using internet is internet. It has to be paid, like not actually like a lot of money, but just the fact that you have to use your own account to pay to get access to the internet. I think it's just kids just can't do that because they can't get like a credit card or whatever before they become 18. So I think that would have been fucking amazing, dude. Not that it should cost like any money, but you can just like input the credit card. They will like, you know, when they check the card, if it's working, they will take $1 from you. Don't have to pay for internet? No, it doesn't have to be like internet. You know how you go to McDonald's or some shit, right? And you connect to their Wi-Fi and you try to open anything, it will ask you to like log in or like click a button to get like 30 minutes of data or some shit, right? So I think that, but you have to enter your card. It will be like a test payment of $1 or whatever the fuck they do, right? To check if your card is active, and then you have access to the internet. I think that should be a thing, so that kids will not use it at all. No, it's not paid subscription. It's not a paid subscription. You just kind of like confirm it, you know? Just use a card as like a confirmation that you're an adult and you're accessing internet. Can you imagine internet for adults only? All those fucking... dude, it would be so fucking good. First of all, no fucking degen bullshit fucking kid content anywhere. Okay? Anywhere. It's gone. It just... all those cringy YouTubers, all that shit, fucking gone from the face of the earth. Stupid fucking games that are like for children, gone, dude, right? They will have to make stuff only for adults. It's gonna be way more gritty, way more realistic, and it's not gonna be shit, you know? It's not gonna be like dumb writing. People not gonna respect that. No shot it would work? Bro, how many kids would figure out how to get a credit card? It's extremely difficult. Like, some people could, right? They could figure it out. But vast majority, it won't be able to have access to internet. And then people won't have to, you know, oh, you shouldn't spread, like, propaganda online because kids are influenced, right? They won't be influenced by any propaganda because just kids not on the internet. You will see a lot less dumb shit on the internet as well. I think it would have been super fucking cool. I think it would actually work. No, I'm saying 18 plus, dude. I'm saying 18 plus. So that I will talk about that a little bit later. So that internet is not gonna be cringe, you know? Nobody will have to worry about ChatGPT saying fuck and cucking the model because they don't want it to be like rude or some shit. Nobody will have to give a fuck about AI generated porn, right? Nobody will give a fuck about porn sites asking if you're 18. Boom, everyone's 18 on the internet. Easy, dude. That would be so good, bro. Imagine living in a world like that. That would be awesome. Just access, you know, you can still make some games and stuff, but it's gonna be offline games for kids, right? No internet. People would be just as degenerate. I think that the most degeneracy comes from kids on the internet. You don't even know how many kids there are just fucking posting cringe and posting comments. You just don't see the person behind the, you don't see the person behind the comment. Why are you talking about incest porn? Who's talking about incest porn? It would have been, bro, it's the future I would love to live in. I don't give a fuck, dude. I don't give a fuck. Half the viewer base, kids don't have money anyway. Fuck them, dude. I don't give a shit. I ban them anyway. Because the dumbass fucking kid is gonna say some stupid shit in chat. You're gonna make me upset, I'm gonna ban him. Bro, just imagine you're sitting in your apartment and all of a sudden, what the fuck, dude? This is Kiev, this is an attack last night. One of the drones was shut down and it hit the apartment. It's like a fucking hole to the outside. That's insane. Bro, my guy should remodel the apartment and have a big ass window there. Yeah, this is fucking crazy though. Good looking apartment complex too. Oh man. Hope nobody got hurt. Oh, one person died unfortunately actually. Companies from Prigozhin's structure signed 9 contracts worth more than 1 billion rubles after the attempted rebellion, citing the contract. So basically, Putin is like, Prigozhin is out of the country. He's out of the business. There's no more contracts with his companies. And then just with different ones. They just open new companies. It's not Wagner PMC, it's Wagner's PMC. It's completely different, guys. Russian channels write that Wagner PMC mercenaries have begun redeployment from field camps. Where the criminals will go with their junk is still unknown. Yeah, he owns the company that is feeding the military, but they terminated the contract for feeding the military. But it seems like they will establish a new contract with his another company for doing exactly the same thing. Look at the people who didn't have internet when they were growing up.
Обращение к американскому народу. Friends, we worry about your future.
Worry about your future, you fucking cunt. Jesus Christ. I mean, maybe there's some truth to it. I agree, you know. The Netherlands will join the G7 initiative on security guarantees for Ukraine. Foreign Minister Woke Hoekstra says. I looked up how they repaired that building in Kiev. The structure indeed was compromised. They had to remove all the floors above and destroy the apartment and built them all over. They like basically rebuilt the apartment in that building. Well, isn't that kind of what fixing the building is?
I've just woke up in a fucking steaming mood, yeah? Because I live in a shithole! Do you know what I mean? Birmingham is a fucking shithole! I hate the fucking place! I fucking hate it!
No, Russians don't have self-awareness. They have no idea they live in a shithole. They think it's the best fucking country in the world. Fucking actual degens. Another batch of weapons for the occupiers came to the Banana LPR. Spears, halberds, and morning stars will arrive a little later. What is this? World War II weapon. What else? Bro, how does it not click in your head that you're fucked when you're getting shit like this? This is Thompson. This is what America gave. This is literally proof that America was supplying weapons to Soviets to fight in the World War II. They have them right here. These are the guys. These are the guns.
SKS.
Fighting with museum pieces, fucking hilarious, bro. This is actually his uniform boots.
Ножки разложи, чтобы видно было. Обалдеть.
Все нулевое вообще.
Oh, thank you for subbing. Yo, they're gonna charge. They're gonna charge our guys and fucking Bradleys and Himars with fucking this thing, bro. Great. Ukrainian general tells CNN Kyiv has received cluster munitions from US. They say they can radically change situation on the battlefield. Cluster munitions have already been delivered to Ukraine. This was announced by the commander of the Operational Strategic Group of Troops Tavria, Alexander Tarnovsky. He also noted that cluster munitions have not yet been used, but they can radically change the situation at the front line. I thought this was kind of funny. The Russians have been attacking Snake Island for several days in a row. Early in the morning, the invaders dropped a high explosive bomb on the island. The fucking morons think that Zelensky lives there because of the last video he posted, or what? Zelensky visited that place. Bomb it, bomb it. Fucking military tactics. 200 billion IQ, bro. That's fucking funny. I'm 100% convinced that that's why. Ooh, this is interesting. What is this? I can't make it. That's funny. Ooh. Also interesting. Okay, let's continue. Since the beginning of the war, more than 200 Russian athletes have decided to change their sports citizenship in order to continue their careers. This is reported by the publication Called. Most of these athletes are among chess players. 141 people. Damn. I mean, I guess what they say is true. You gotta be like somewhat smart to be good at chess. The only smart people are like, okay, fuck Russia. I ain't doing anything with that. Well done. This is kind of based. The International Olympic Committee will not invite Russia and Belarus to participate in the Olympic Games in Paris, which will begin in July 2024. Easy clap, bro. Get the fuck out of here. Ostracized. See you. What is this now? Unbelievable. A Russian submarine commander was assassinated on his run yesterday. He was posting his workouts on Strava. One of the people who liked the post was the chief of intelligence of Ukraine. No shot! No shot, dude. It says Gorilla Bhutan. This has to be dude, what a no shot. That's fucking funny. Bro, zero understand. Like, this is who we're fighting against. I mean, they could have liked it, you know, from just made the account, right? Jesus fucking hell. Strava was an OPSEC nightmare several years ago in the US DoD. Apparently, Russia didn't get the memo. Russia didn't get the memo. Apparently, when they were invading countries before Ukraine, they didn't get the memo that they can't be doing that, man. That's fucking funny. It is really funny, bro. Hey, listen. When our intelligence and our special security services are saying that they will find everyone who was responsible and they will face justice, I have zero doubts. I have zero doubts, dude. Germany decided to transfer a new batch of military aid to Ukraine. The new package includes 6 anti-aircraft gun mounts Gepard, 5 cross-country vehicles, 1 tank tractor HX81. How does it look like? Elephant. They found a secret US base in the Middle East because the people there posted their Fitbits runs. Jesus fucking Christ. The one Bieber? Bridge layer? Bieber? Dude! Bing search, dude. Would Google give me Justin Bieber? No, it also gives me Bieber. Bieber? Oh, it's oh, is Justin Bieber different spells differently? It's German for beaver or what? Anyway. Oh, it's that's why. I see. Okay. Sorry, I don't know how to spell him. His fucking I don't give a shit. 3,230 155 millimeter artillery shells, very specific amounts. 24,192 40 millimeter grenades. Okay. Also, 10 lasers. No, 10 laser designators in the same number of fire control systems for the Iris-T SLM air defense system. Nice. Action. Ukrainian soldiers are trying to break through under the enemy fire to one of the settlements in the Zaporizhia direction. Let's go. It says in the trenches to the right and left, more to the right. Do you have any info on the amount of people? Why don't they move through the grass? I don't understand. Is it mined? Damn, bro. Says, guys, we gotta move or they're gonna fuck us up over here. What's up, man? Bro, I bet it's so fucking hot and all this shit, like running and shit. God damn.
Оце хуйово. Лягай.
Says this is bad. Gotta drop down. Let's go, he says. Says somebody with him? Fucking Christ, dude.
Ой-ой. Та сука заїбав ти вже.
He says, you're fucking annoying. Stop stop doing. Damn, bro. What's the temperature out there? Like fucking 35, 30 degrees. It's fucking super hot. Swedish supplied Stridsvagn 122S Leopard in Ukrainian service equipped with Barracuda MCS. I've seen a video today. Maybe some of you have it. There's a video of a Leopard 2 tank getting hit by 2 Russian ATGMs, and it did nothing. It just fucking did nothing, bro. That's insane. Holy shit. And it was like Russians posted the video, but you can see it just like, you know, the missile flies and it's like dude, it was so funny, bro. It's like they're literally throwing fucking rocks, you know, at an armored car. No, it did nothing. The report says that the tank made, I mean, maybe it was damaged, but the tank made back in one piece and didn't stop or anything. So it must be like, the damage must be minimal if the tank ran just fine. Didn't penetrate the armor. That's fucking fantastic, bro. Like, I mean... This is a Russian... I assume this is hit by HIMARS. There's a Russian howitzer getting hit by HIMARS. Bro, this is so fucking good. Using HIMARS on just like lone targets like this is fucking amazing. We're using HIMARS on tactical level now. This is super fucking good. It's a Giansit S. Self-propelled howitzer. That got hit. This is south direction. That's great. A mass brawl broke out in a military unit in the village of Kalinets, Moscow region. As a result, a contractor was killed. The military police began to beat the contractor, who went to the store without permission. Soon, other soldiers joined the fight. They tried to beat off their colleague. Too bad they don't have guns. Maybe they would have fucking shot themselves. Shot each other. Just Russian zombies. What, he didn't get the uniform? They didn't have the size? Some guys don't have the top either. Fucking worms, dude. Хробаки ёбані, блядь. Is this the Leo vid? Yeah. Oh, I think this is a Russian song. Fuck that. I have a better one. Like, it just does nothing. I wonder what the Russians think after this. They like, bro, Ukrainians got tanks, we can't even do anything to them. Anti-tank guided missile? Yeah, it's not working against the tanks. It still goes. And they deployed smoke. That's fucking funny, dude. Russia claimed they destroyed 2 in that video, wanted to post it yesterday, but it didn't work. A German official who visited the crews at the front stated the tank got hit multiple times and was able to return on its own, didn't mention the degree of the damage. Well, if it returned on its own, then it must be not very big, right? A Wall Street Journal says, General Surovikin was detained and interrogated a few hours after the start of Prigozhin's rebellion. Surovikin is in custody. About 30 more soldiers were detained along with him. 13 senior officers were detained for interrogation. 15 soldiers were suspended or fired. It is reported that Surovikin knew about Prigozhin's plan but did not participate in the rebellion himself. Uh-oh. Journalists called the Russian oligarch Vladimir Potanin the main beneficiary of the war. He bought up assets of Western companies for next to nothing. Potanin bought Rosbank and the insurance business from the French Societe Generale, as well as Tinkoff Bank, which was actually squeezed out of Oleg Tinkov because of anti-war position. In addition, Potanin is not indifferent to the assets of Yandex. In second place is the oligarch Ivan Turishin, who bought out Home Credit Bank and the assets of the Czech PPF group. I like how they're mostly just buying banks because they don't know how to run like tech companies. Like he's buying act like Yandex. I don't know who's gonna run it, bro. Brain drain in Russia is fucking insane, dude. Like, who's gonna run it? Who's gonna work there? Patriot fires 35 missiles into fake targets. Listen how this man explains the information controlled by America.
Вот я за все расскажу в общем. Вот у нас в обществе, блядь, благодаря, блядь, контролю, блядь, за интернетом американцами, нахуй, полностью глобально контролируется, блядь, эта вся хуйня информационная.
I'm fucking gonna tell you right now, bro, how it is, bro, okay? Here's what's up, dude, okay?
Это уже, блядь, длится, нахуй, с 90-х годов. У нас поколению внушили, нахуй, что у них все там заебато, все охуенно, рай на земле, светочи демократии и все дела, нахуй. А у нас все говно, правительство говно, депутаты говно, блядь, менты козлы, блядь, всюду, блядь, дерьмо одно, нахуй. Хотя, блядь, дорог понастроили хуево тучу. В каждой семье, блядь, машин ебаться в рот, нахуй. 1-2 точно есть. У кого нету машины в семье, это просто он не хочет ее купить, нахуй. Или...
True, real.
Не может, потому что не имеет прав, нахуй. А при желании, то есть, как поднялось благосостояние после 90-х, охуенно. А нам все все время впаривают, что мы живем в говне и в дерьме, а Запад живет, вот примерно на войне, нахуй, ебаный рот. Самые крутые в мире, блядь, леопарды, блядь. Это пиздец, это супер техника, супер пиздец вообще, нахуй.
It's a tank from 80s, motherfucker.
Ебаный рот, нахуй, блядь. Приехали, нахуй, и умылись тут, нахуй, все, блядь, кровью, нахуй, эти леопарды. Ни автоматозаряжания, ни хуй.
Bro, no automatic reloading. No. If there's no automatic reloading, it means there's nothing, bro. Also, dude, I bet this is what they do most of the time, and then they just die. And that's it. They just go, it's like, yeah, you're right, we're gonna show. And the next guy sit for 20 hours.
Хуя ничего нет, все, блядь, нахуй тяжеленные, буксуют, нихуя толку от них нет. Вон их похуярили сколько, напротив нас, вот здесь, нахуй, ебать. Кладбище, нахуй, устроили, ебаный рот. Точно так же с ихними самыми крутыми Абрамсами будет. Тоже это все распиаренная хуйня. И так во всем. Любой наш автомобиль возьми военный, нахуй, блядь, и ихний, нахуй. У нас, блядь, жрет, что хочешь, нахуй, блядь. На коленке можно сделать, отремонтировать. У нас, блядь, техника, блядь, вот это вся, она предназначена для войны. А у них она предназначена для тухлых, блядь, понтов, нахуй, блядь. Вот попонтоваться, смотри, как он крут.
America was like the country that was making the best weapons at the hugest amounts in the world throughout the whole history of that fucking country. It's literally a country that makes weapons. Like, what the fuck, bro? USSR was asking for weapons from America.
У него там то, все, хуе-мое, нахуй, ебать. Вот покупайте наши, они же, сука, торгаши, нахуй. Вот они и впаривают по всему миру. Ихний Патриот, нахуй, в жопе, нахуй. Сука, нахуй, наш, блядь, самолет, нахуй, за раз, блядь. Он, блядь, выпускает 35 всех своих ракет, нахуй, по ложным целям, нахуй. Наш самолет его спокойненько въебывает. Охуенно супер патриот, нахуй, которым всем впаривают. Саудовской Аравии, Корее, блядь, Японии, Европе, блядь, всем-всем. А мы, оказывается, вот так, опа, имеем, нахуй, и чё?
True, real. Okay, it's time for us. Okay, grab your Thompson and Pepper Shah, and let's go and fight. You have your Mosin? Okay, grab all weapons and let's go fight Ukrainians.
Нахуй, американцы, нахуй. Да обосрались, нахуй, и еще обосрутся, нахуй, блядь. У меня все, нахуй.
Отлично, спасибо.
Well, I bet they're already dead, dude, unironically. А, тільки що бачили, я ж тому і кажу про ці пушки. New footage of the destroyed Kakhovska hydroelectric station. Man, that's crazy, dude. These buildings are huge. Remember this guy? The head of the Russian Moscow Patriarchy Church in Ukraine. That is currently under guard. Pasha Mercedes, yeah, I remember him. He is like the head of the Russian church in Ukraine. So obviously, a big phase out of that church started happening. It's good. Every normal Ukrainian supports it. There's some brainwashed degens that are like, but there are very few of them. Any case, they found an interesting interview with him. He says, we don't have Ukrainian economy. Today, and what do we have? What do you mean, what do we have? What do we have? Russia didn't attack when the war started in Donetsk and Luhansk. We fought each other. No, it's Russia attacked. Show me where it says that they attacked. Bro, anyway, basically, here's what's happening. The SBU informed Pasha Mercedes of a new suspicion. So basically, he's fucked. So this is proof of him that he denied the existence of Ukraine as a sovereign state. There's a whole interview where he denies that Russia invaded Ukraine and stuff like that, right? So basically, because of that, you can call him a collaborant and he can get a lot of years in prison, which is great. So, bye. This is the clip that you were referring to, apparently.
The war could go on for years? Is there a possibility there's a stalemate and it can continue for quite some time?
Well, I don't think the war can go on for years for two reasons. Number one, I don't think that that Russia could maintain the war forever, number one, in terms of their resources and capacity. Number two, I think that there is going to be a circumstance where eventually President Putin is going to decide it's not in the interest of Russia, economically, politically, or otherwise, to continue this war. But I can't predict exactly how that happens. My hope is...
Apparently he says... dude, I hate when they quote one thing, but they show a clip from another. Putin has already lost. The Russian Federation will not be able to wage war forever. It will not have enough resources and capabilities. Ukraine will join NATO, but not at the time of the conflict. Otherwise, it would lead to a third world war. I don't think that the war in Ukraine will last for years. Butler says something. I don't see anything good in this. Our position, I don't know what he's referring to. Our positions are very clear. And our positions... What concerns the weapon deliveries of different weapons, we see how much hope Ukraine had for missiles with long range. And yes, they're doing damage, but nothing critical to me, because I don't care about some fucking degen Russians dying. It's not me dying, it's them. The same thing are tanks, armed vehicles,
Вчерашний вечер танков только с 4 июня уничтожено 311.
He says only from the 4th of June, we already destroyed 311 tanks. Bro, does he count their own tanks as well?
Из них значительная часть, я думаю, что 1/3 как минимум это западного производства.
He says, and I am sure that at least 1/3 of those tanks are the Western tanks. So he says that they already destroyed like 100 Western tanks.
В том числе леопарды. Могу вам сказать, что
Wow.
Украинские военнослужащие часто отказываются даже.
He also, I mean, the clip cuts short, but I would love to hear the end of it. He says, I would like to say that often Ukrainian servicemen even refuse to what? Like drive in Western tanks or what? Like what do he do? What do you want to say there? Pentagon confirmed that cluster munitions are already in Ukraine. They added that Ukraine received cluster munitions not only from the United States, but also from other countries. Although we had agreements, we only knew about the agreement with the United States. Yeah, everyone, when somebody quotes Putler, they're like putting in the in the fucking quotes. It's fucking funny, dude. Right, do we have any updates on the map itself? A little push near Klishivka. Klishivka is extremely important. It will allow us to encircle Bakhmut. Again, most of our forces are not yet participating in the counteroffensive. But I don't know why. Maybe we're waiting for some equipment that was promised. Maybe it's the cluster munitions. Maybe now our artillery is going to clear out way more orcs and our boys will just walk into empty trenches, you know? Oh, thanks for the raid. Appreciate it. What's up, Vicky? Same shirt as yesterday? Yeah. No, actually, I switched the shirt. I went to the shower after stream yesterday, so not the same. So maybe that was the case. Like, we obviously want to win the war, but we don't want to achieve it with huge losses. Because like, it would be pretty pointless to fight a war for the survival of the country by killing huge amounts of people in the process, our own people in the process. So I fully support this decision. I fully support the decision to save as many lives as possible. Ukrainian troops, I mean.
What a fucking liar, dude. What a fucking Weasley little liar, dude.
La Slippers gifted a tier 1 sub to Vikidex.
Thank you, buddy.
They have given 2 gift subs in the channel.
Oh, nice. Well done. Waiting for F-16s? Well, the thing is, we did say that the counteroffensive will begin without F-16s. Maybe that's technically already like true because it kind of started, not full scale, but you know, still. I don't know. I think it's gonna be way too long. A lot of politicians and a lot of military command was promising big gains, big changes by the end of the year. So the planes, I do predict that the planes are gonna be here before the end of the year, but the statement from our international ministry is that it's gonna be somewhere in the spring of 2024. That's almost a year away. I don't think. There has to be some Like, we can't simply prepare 9 brigades, specifically assault brigades, and keep them, like, just at the back in the flank? Like, what is the point of preparing them, right? They will have to be used, but I think to avoid huge losses, we got long-range missiles from France, we get cluster munitions from different countries, not only America. Maybe that will allow us to further soften Russian supply lines and Russian, I think, cluster munitions are specifically for infantry. So I guess we're just gonna cluster them up. We're gonna sklounced in the fucking trenches, and then our boys just gonna walk in, and with it's gonna be way easier, right? Also, you have to consider that there's a lot of mines as well, right? That's we've seen the reports that that's part of the reason the counteroffensive is slower than anticipated, because everything is literally mined. But it's way easier to move when the enemy is destroyed by... But our commanders are saying, listen, we saw the numbers. Cluster munition is what? 9 times more effective against enemy infantry? That's crazy, dude. Every shell you shoot, it's like 9 shells you shoot instead. Cluster bombs for demining? No, I think cluster bombs for killing Russians. But when Russians are destroyed, you can go through the minefield much easier when nobody's shooting at you at the same time, right? Like, just kind of makes sense. You can shoot at the mines. I guess you could, but listen, if we get a lot of those shells, might as well, right? Who fucking knows? Dual purpose. Where's our boy with yellow teeth? Now we have a yellow lady?
Last couple of weeks, many discussions were taking place on whether Ukraine is ready to become a NATO member and whether the alliance is ready to extend its collective security umbrella to shield the country at war with most likely permanent security threat on its eastern border. But no one has really asked the question, what can Ukraine bring to NATO?
I ask. We can bring the fucking everything. I think the most important thing is intelligence, my opinion. Right? And training.
Україна зробить НАТО сильніше.
Ukraine has often been called the beacon of democracy in Europe, the unifying force that gave NATO a new meaning. But over the last almost year and a half of active
Alona Glivko,
war,
former MP of Ukraine.
Ukraine has become not just the global soft superpower, it has also developed very tangible hard skills on the battlefield. Facing off against Russia, the second best army in the world, Ukraine quickly showed it was, in reality, the second best army in Ukraine.
Based.
And then Yevgeny Prigozhin showed that it was actually the second best army in Russia.
True! Oh my god, she just added on to that.
The future of warfare. It grants military access.
This is my favorite guy after Zelensky, of course.
The future of warfare.
Big fan. This is the Minister of Digital Transformation of Ukraine. While Zelensky is absolutely fantastic at international politics, as a president should be, because that's literally his primary function, this guy is insane at dealing with corruption in Ukraine. Just like he simply just changes the system where it's no longer possible to be corrupt. Hey, he replied to me twice, okay? And also the reason I was sending him emails is because I like this guy and I know he's based.
grants military experts and strategists in every part of the world a good insight into what that future might look like. Ukraine has also been rapidly developing the new technologies helping it fight the war and minimize the human losses, mostly with the help...
He's deposing? What's his name? His name is Mikhailo Fedorov.
...of the entrepreneurial Ukrainian SMEs. Brave One, Ukrainian defense tech cluster, has united a number of companies, startups, investors, and volunteers to develop the latest and most effective defense technologies that could be quickly and easily deployed on Ukraine's battlefield. The army of drones, with capabilities ranging from surveillance to reconnaissance to targeting the enemy's positions with guided bombs, are already being actively used in the theater of war. The fleet of naval drones that would be ready to target ships, or the land drones aimed at removing obstacles and demining Ukrainian terrain, are all at the development phase. The most tangible element of war still remains the military hardware. And that is the area where Ukraine holds legacy that the world knows little about. Back in the days of Soviet rule, Ukraine was a home to major strategic military industry plans. All of those facilities, due to the Soviets' willingness to limit sovereignty and self-sufficiency of member states, were designed in a way that would cover only one element of a certain equipment's full production cycle, be it
I'd rather make love than make war. I mean, Ukrainian army literally fucks Russian
the
army,
production
so
capacities and the expertise of these factories remain impressive. The best proof for that is the series of Russian attacks targeting the plants since the beginning of the full-scale war last year. As the critical military infrastructure elements, many of them got heavily damaged, but the technologies behind the production, and most importantly, the talent that has developed them, is still there, ready to be redeployed with the first wave of reconstruction. Let's take a look at the most significant ones. Number 1, Malyshev Morozov plant, founded in 1927 and situated in Kharkiv, was the initial design bureau of tanks T-34, later T-80s, a series of armored...
Can't you build military plants that make military shit under the ground?
...vehicles and the modern flagship tank Oplot, a modernized T-84, which was created for shipment to the US. The plant, with about 60,000 employees, had an output of 800 tanks a year. Number 2.
Expensive? Yeah, you know what's expensive? Rebuilding the same fucking plant all the fucking time.
Yamashproekt factory in Mykolaiv is known for producing marine gas turbines for hovercrafts, hydrofoils and ships, including Ukrainian Navy. 3. Bizar, a plant near Kyiv's International Airport.
We have a couple of underground factories, facilities.
Specializes in subsonic anti-ship cruise missiles Neptunes, the ones that sunk Russian flagship Moskva. Number 4, Pivdenmash, an aerospace manufacturer situated in Dnipro, produces spacecraft, launch vehicles, landing gears,
this is one that you mentioned.
and ballistic missiles. Number 5, Luch Design Bureau, founded in 1965 and situated in Kyiv, is responsible for one of the most prominent Ukrainian multiple rocket launcher systems, Vilha, as well as anti-tank guided missiles and air-launched precision weapons. And number 6, Motor Sich, an aircraft engine manufacturer headquartered in Zaporizhzhia,
Putin shouldn't have started
a
it,
physical strike on its facilities in May 2022, suffered another hit from the Russians. Alongside with supplying engines to Turkish Bayraktar drones, the plant also produced rotary wing engines that powered Russian military helicopters. After the 2014 invasion, Motor Sich severed its ties with Russia, and in 2021, President Zelensky signed a decree to nationalize the plant as a strategic Ukrainian asset. In order to rebuild, reform, and regroup the existing capabilities, Ukraine went on the reforming path of Ukroboronprom, a government-run conglomerate designed to coordinate and manage the military industry of Ukraine. The company has a complex history and a series of alleged corruption scandals dating back to 2016,
I'm about to make love to you
when its
if you're not
director
gonna shut
Ihor
the fuck up.
Holodkovsky and coincidentally
And I'm not gonna
a
ask
son
for
of
permission.
former President Poroshenko's longtime friend and business partner, was accused of embezzlement and smuggling in Ukraine's defense production industry, and later charged with such in 2019. Ihor has not pled guilty and contests the charges. His trial is currently ongoing in Ukraine. Poroshenko was himself charged with state treason in 2021, an allegation which, for his part, he has denied. His trial remains ongoing. At the end of June, Ukroboronprom has been reconstituted into a joint stock company and renamed into Ukrainian Defense Industry. It has also been moved from the Ministry of Defense and under the Ministry of Strategic Industries jurisdiction, and got a new director with one sole premise: to boost Ukrainian military hardware and ammunition production. That has already seen good signaling from the West, as 3 companies have announced their plans to launch their capacities in Ukraine. The largest German weapons manufacturer, Rheinmetall, is set to open an armored vehicle plant in Ukraine within the next 3 months. British BAE Systems, after an initial decision to open their offices in Kyiv in October, are now working on setting up a base to produce and repair artillery and tanks. Turkish Baykar is set to open its drone manufacturing plant in Ukraine as per Zelensky's and Erdogan's agreement signed in Istanbul on the eve of NATO summit. NATO has shown reluctance to accept Ukraine, and a time frame has not been set, neither for an invitation nor for membership into the bloc. In response, President Zelensky said it was unprecedented and absurd that Ukraine didn't have more detail on when it could become a NATO member. It is obvious that beyond Ukraine being at war, some NATO members are still not over their fears of provoking Russia, particularly when the usage of nuclear weapons is a possibility. If all the lessons from the war are added to Ukraine's existing military and industrial capacity, once Russia has been ejected from the country, it may not be up to Kyiv to keep pushing for NATO membership. It may be the case that existing members, especially those on the eastern flank, staring at a bruised, humiliated, and angry enemy, regardless of who's in charge, raise their voices and ask that Ukraine be allowed to join the club as soon as possible. Defense in Depth is a weekly video out.
She cute. Is she married? We have a lot of things in common. You know. She likes to speak English, I like speaking English. She likes Ukraine, I like Ukraine. She likes our military industry, I like it too. She likes to suck cock, I mean, you know, I bet she likes to go to like coffee shops and stuff. What is this?
Для чого ви це рухає, друже? Для чого ви це рухає, друже? Ви так само робите, як Путін.
У нас просвітницько-каральна експедиція.
Добре, що?
Вашу наліво, мать! Ви були там, ви бачили, чи там поховані, чи не поховані?
А ви тут працюєте на цвинтарі? Ви тут на цвинтарі працюєте? Це ж ми по могилі лазимо, виходить. Боже, ну це ж вандалізм. Чому це не вандалізм?
Я не зрозумів, а що таке? А що таке? Що таке? Я не зрозумів. А ти хто взагалі?
Ніхто не забутий, ніщо не
are
забуто.
you?
Ця традиційна фраза на радянських пам'ятниках раніше читалась по одному. Зараз же дійсно українці не хочуть забувати злочини росіян в Україні, і тому взялися за демонтаж таких радянських воїнів, яких до сих пір Росія використовує в своїй пропаганді для культивування своєї військової величі.
Bro, people like cannot think a step further. Do they not think that we will not honor the memory of people, of Ukrainians who gave their life to stop the Nazi regime? Of course we will. Just not in a Soviet way. In our own way.
Тарас, станьте там, щоб машина не їхала впереді. Михайло Васильович, під'їжджайте, машину забирайте.
Ти вже це постиш зразу в Фейсбук.
Звісно, робота така.
В Фейсбуці
У
підтримують.
нас просвітницько-каральна експедиція.
А могло би вирішити питання, що
Ні,
просто затерти?
Ми не декомунізовуємо пам'ятники, ми декомунізовуємо Україну. Тих пам'ятників не має бути. Їх не треба перемальовувати, бо багато хто хоче поставити тризуб, хрест і хай буде. Ні. Ці пам'ятники ставили комуністи і росіяни, ставили для того, щоб це були такі маркери їхнього світу, щоб люди сюди приходили, там чуть не молилися.
Пам'ять вона все-таки лишилася, ніде не дінеться. Ну, шкільні роки, пам'ятається, як ми тут ми ж вшановували тих воїнів в шкільні роки.
It's like, yeah, it's Soviet oppression disguised as respect to heroes of World War II.
Yeah.
Victory, the heroes, the names, stuff like that.
Чого все-таки, на твою думку, не може стояти така стела з прізвищами в селі, як і в Львівській області, так і в принципі?
Ну, тому що місце згадки про загиблих в неукраїнській війні, місце на кладовищі, бо це жертви. Це не бійці за Україну, це жертви Сталіна і Гітлера. Їх місце, тобто місце згадки про них на цвинтарі. Я вважаю, що це, не тільки я вважаю, це політика тепер держави, що це місце, це європейська практика.
Ну, дехто вважає, що це глуміння над пам'яттю, ні?
Ну, дехто вважає, а я вважаю, що це глуміння над пам'яттю моїх родичів і всіх тих, хто не дожив до цих. Такі пам'ятники, що це якраз глуміння до тих, хто боровся за Україну і не дожив.
Lviivщина перша область,
яка взялася за масштабну деколонізацію публічного простору.
Пам'ятні
знаки, меморіали, які символізують тоталітарний окупаційний режим, зносять відповідно до рішення Львівської обласної ради за 20 вересня 2022 року та розпорядження керівника Львівської обласної військової адміністрації. А після 27 липня 2023 року вступає в дію закон про заборону пропаганди імперської політики та деколонізації топонімії. Тож аналогічні демонтажі доведеться робити по всій Україні.
Галю, вже наш пам'ятник знесли. Що вони з цими косточками зроблять?
It's always the grandmas, dude.
Я не знаю. Стільки людей там поховано. Та тільки що машина приїхала, а я стою якраз коло того пам'ятника.
Це була родина мать, так, як вони кажуть?
Це була родина мать. Немає значення. Люди дуже бояться, що це якесь щось несе. Воно несе тільки одне. Це антирелігія. Вони робили свої пам'ятки як хрести, щоб до цього ходили і молилися. І люди ходили і молилися.
Ви розумієте, тут стільки людей поховано. Там...
Це неправда, тут ніхто не поховано.
А ви були там, ті ж вашу наліво мать? Ви були там, ви бачили, чи там поховані, чи не поховані? Були?
Ви давно мешкаєте в Дрюговичі?
Давно.
З якого року?
З якого року? З 50-го.
З 50-го. Тобто ви з тих освободителів, які освободили Україну від нацистів,
а
так?
що я освобождала? Мені було один рочок, як я була...
А ваш тато освобождав, а і ви тепер проти, тому що ми нищимо їхню пам'ять. Хто був ваш тато? Військовий?
Військовий.
НКВДист?
Ні, він в міліції служив.
А, в міліції. Дякую.
А там точно нема могили?
Ні, точно нема могили.
Кажуть, що нема там могили.
А там ті були, як вони, таблиці. Що ви не бачили, скільки там
Це
людей
мій
на
баба і
Україні?
дідо були виселені.
Якби ви були дитиною українців, ви до цього не робили.
Я буду це робити. Всюди на Україні від вас сліду не лишиться. Сліду не лишиться. І від вашого міліціянта, ви брешете, ваш тато не міліціянт. Він є член чого? МГБ тоді було. Міністерство госбезопасності. Так. Він сюди приїхав і тут купа людей вбили.
А оце сходи, що ви тепер будете робити, як поламали?
Ну, все зремонтуємо, зробимо пам'ятник тому Чебуреку. Ну, це зайде зараз. Це зайде.
На пам'ятник Чебуреку?
Є спонсори. Тут є прекрасна Чебуречна, ми її зробимо спонсорами. Це нормально, тому що до того тебе ставиться весело. Брюховичі заслужили пам'ятник Чебуреку. Ми трошки щось так соромимося це знімати. В територіальних громадах, які є супротив, я пропонуватиму це зробити в білий день, закликати всю громадськість, священників, які морозяться.
Сваряться, ви будете...
Священників кликати, тому чомусь всі церкви про це мовчать, не відповідають ніяке. І це робити при такому людському обговоренні. Це відбувається, це свято визволення міста від російських окупантів.
Не робіть нахуй хуйні, я вас прошу. Не робіть. Тебе там, сука, Відійдь! Або зараз каменем дівчаним. Бо зараз веде. Б'ють по каменем дівчаним зараз. Що він думає? Ми будемо зараз як прутівку піднімали. Ти що, блядь, маєш кепіли, блядь? Ти долбойоб, зараз прутівку вирішуємо. А хуя, воно тобі мішає.
Yeah, like, bro, this is like people who don't want to cooperate with police. Like, what are they gonna say? Oh, okay, we're gonna leave now? Bro, that's not how any of that works.
Демонтовують не лише монументи радянським воїнам,
They change places now.
чи з написами «Велика Вітчизняна», але в тому числі і ось таку жіночку, яка символізує колгосп, а саме насильну колективізацію. Як бачимо, місцеве населення, попри те, не згодне з такими рішеннями і обіцяє не віддавати пам'ятник.
Я найдіну церкву нахуй заваляють, одну, другу, блядь.
А що спільного між церквою і пам'ятником?
Ну а з тим, що їм мішає?
Походу те саме, одинаково.
Те саме, воно
Церкву
по
теж
помилків
за Союзу побудували. Ну то як інакше? Я не розумію того.
А як ви зрозуміли, що це ваш клієнт?
Ну, типу, вона ж тут не з'явилася ні за якого там українського, не знаю, мистецтва. Це ж видно, що це соціалізм, комунізм. І вони, типу, повідбирали наших людей землю, зганяли їх до колгоспів, потім їм принесли хліб на руках.
Я не бачу підстав зносити цей пам'ятник. Що в ньому є такого? Ця жінка символізує, ну, чому колгосп?
Колгосп – мать родину.
Я в тому селі виріс з Гамнюка.
При чому туди ти віриш?
Я її, блядь, її батько тут, блядь, білив, її мій, блядь, його дідо, блядь.
Так, добре, наші були батьки.
Що ви, хлопці, робите?
Що ти добре?
Я не поняв, а що таке?
А що таке?
Що таке? Я не поняв.
Ти хто взагалі?
Яка радянська влада, блядь? Вона що тримає, блядь? Руський прапор, блядь? Що ви нахуй приїбалися, блядь?
Будете захищати?
Конечно, ще не
Ми її зараз палимо нахуй ту машину. Просто спалимо.
Вона нахуй повибиває вікна, блядь.
Дорогу порівняйте, світло проведіть в село, а щоб люди ноги не ламали. То не є Радянщина, то є пам'ятник Хліборобові, село Хліборобське. Розумієте? Ну, я не знаю, що він так комусь заважав.
Таке часто в селах, коли ви приїжджаєте
Це перший раз в Львівській області такий супротив. Видно,
З чим це пов'язуєш? Те, що гарна жінка?
є певні, видно, сексистські вбудування. Та звичка, тут не можна нічого сказати. Звичка, вони виросли при ній.
This is a fun video.
Воно ж не тільки в тому. Вони звикли, правильно кажуть?
Рабами були не такі, гнули, вони зігнулися, але вирівнялися.
Старший сержант поліції добре відносно 40-ї дації фіксації нашої смаги.
Ми є представники Львівської ОВА. Це посвідчення у нас всіх є. Є рішення обласної ради від 20 вересня про декомунізацію. До кінця 23-го року мають бути зачищені всі такі маркери комунізму. Друга штука є розпорядження голови Львівської ОВА Максима Козицького про те, що до кінця 23-го року це має бути знесено.
Це ви, я так розумію, перешкоджаєте, так?
Я не перешкоджаю, я з народом.
Ви з народом. А хто перешкоджає діяльність?
Не знаю, кому що перешкоджає. Ми зараз з народом. У нас нема дороги, а вони домахалися до якогось пам'ятника хочуть знести.
Що ви будете сваритися, чи як?
Я теж покину.
Дивіться, вам буде
Ну і що туди? Що вам туди? Що вам туди? Люди добрі, будьте виділи. Най вам подзвонимо туди, най приїдуть там хлопак, і буде все окей. І подивимося, що ви сказали.
Там хтось з городу прикричав підараси.
Ви ж сказали, що пам'ятник буде збережений. Що його передадуть в комунальну власність і до музею.
Його і передадуть комунальні.
Що передадуть? Ви його зламали. Вона в очі мені сказала. Вони обіцяли нам, що це саме оцей пам'ятник буде стояти в музеї Жовківщини. Ну, а тепер зніміть цю голову.
Is this bro, that wasn't some like incredible fucking Michelangelo fucking art piece, okay? It's not very hard to restore.
Чи хтось буде це відреставрувати?
But I don't think anyone will, obviously.
Власне, претензія, що його не зберегли, розвалили. Чому вирішили не...
Listen, this all happened in Baltic countries, for example. Of course, when these monuments are removed, there's plenty of our own, and there's going to be plenty of the monuments of the Russian invasion, for example, of Ukraine. There's going to be so many. There's going to be a lot. Don't worry about it.
Ну, так все стало. А що ми мали постелити щось чи ще щось? Я великої трагедії в цьому не бачу. Зберігся, то зберігся. Їх ще для музею, їх ще тільки в Львівській області ще 200 пам'ятників.
То можна вас кусочок забрати?
На здоров'я, його вже ніхто не збере.
Несподівано нас зробили ще одну зупинку, походу тут вирішили, поки є машина, швидко ще кілька пам'ятників завалити. Це піонерам пам'ятник, так?
I mean, what do you mean poorly handled? You need to remove the old one and install a new one specifically in the same place immediately after? I don't think it's possible.
Ой.
There's literally, he just said in the region there's 200 monuments.
А що ви так швидко? А його не планували зносити, так? Раптом зносити.
Я не знаю, організатор.
Правильно розумію, його не планували сьогодні зносити?
Ні, то він у нас типу виявлений.
Тільки що виявили?
Оце не виявили. Оце школа початкова, я так розумію.
І це піонер?
Депутати міської ради десь. А це піонер, ну ви бачите, хто це.
Pioneer, I don't know what it's... if you're gonna just Google it, you're gonna see it's like Soviet kids, bro. Specifically brainwashed to love Stalin and shit. It's the worst fucking thing. Why are these so small, dude? I mean, they're kids, I get it, but like... It's the worst. Yeah, it's like Stalin youth, pretty much. What are these pictures? There we go. Well, you get it, right? Every picture is like smaller.
Я не розуміюся, я пізніше народилася. Ми його оцінюємо насправді візуально. І коли він був поставлений. Ну, і типу, тут
What are these statues of specifically? I literally just showed you, man!
зрозуміло, коли і в чому воно вдягнене, і як воно виглядає. Ну це точно не українські діти в шортиках і не пластуни. Ой, це так.
Сturdy.
Там ми забираємо якихось красивих там жіночок, діточок і то сьо, а може хай будуть, перемалюємо то сьо. Але ж ми розуміємо, типу, що це такими нейтральними символами, такими, знаєте, як мір, сонце, май, нам просто закривали очі і типу нас вчили любити
I agree, dude. If people are like, yo, well, let's leave it, we're just gonna repaint it, like...
радянську родину, яка насправді взагалі не мала нічого українського.
Деколонізацію на Львівщині проводять масштабно і скрупульозно, зокрема і на цвинтарях, де монтовують і пам'ятники радянському солдату, або принаймні прибирають зірочки на от таких братських могилах. А ви тут працюєте на цвинтарі? Ви тут на цвинтарі працюєте? А ви знаєте, що тепер будуть зносити той пам'ятник радянському воїну на братській могилі?
Я не цікавлюсь тим.
Ну, а ви не проти, якщо будуть той пам'ятник забирати?
Та про мене хай воно стоїть, кому воно мішає.
Ну, що це радянська окупаційний солдат радянської армії.
Ви розумієте, небожчиків не судять. Вони
Really, though?
воювали, ну, тобто, така була...
Such was the system, such was the time. Bruh, come on, son. Like, bro, listen, I'm not the best at history, right? But when Nazis attacked, they occupied like this territory. Well, and everything else, of course. But this the amount of Russia that was occupied. Ukrainians lived under Nazi occupation. And then they were used as meat by fucking USSR to take back everything. So.
Система. І такий був час, що вони були на війні і вони загинули. Тут було польське кладовище. На місці польського кладовища зробили оте воєнне кладовище.
Тобто вони як вандали взяли і поруйнували поля.
Я не знаю, як вандали, бо тут років, певно, може 3, може 4 приїжджали поляки з картою, з усім. Мене питають, кажуть, де тут польське кладовище? Я кажу, от тут.
Oh my god, Biden's pronunciation, who cares? Tell them Ukrainians said nobody cares about that. Holy shit.
Тут є польське кладовище.
До речі, зірочки на надмогильних пам'ятниках радянських воїнів теж планують перебирати. Опоненти такої деколонізації можуть назвати це навіть вандалізмом і кажуть, що хто б тут не був похований, пам'ять треба шанувати. Але як бачимо, деякі могили, та в принципі всі занедбані. От, наприклад, пам'ять...
Oh, bro, it's so fucking true. What a great point. It's like those anti-abortion people. All lives matter until you pop out the kid. Then I don't give a fuck. I don't want to give you any monetary support. You should be handling that. If you don't want to give them up to the adoption or some shit, right? Same shit here. We should care about the memory of those people. So nobody cares about it now. Well, it's different.
Деякі могили, та в принципі всі занедбані. От, наприклад, пам'ятник взагалі сховався вже давно в траві, тобто не особливо їх хтось і шанував. Деколонізація на Львівщині не обмежилася
I think it's just people they're like, oh, it's different, you know?
Знесенням пам'ятників, взялися тут і за екзумацією радянських могил, які знаходилися чомусь не на цвинтарі, а в центральних частинах міста Сіл.
That's kind of weird.
Тут раніше був військовий меморіал.
Putin doesn't think Russian lives matter either, dude.
Загиблих в часи Другої світової війни, він так називали комуністи.
Which is pretty, like, this is the only good thing about that guy, probably, but...
Повоєнного періоду. А реально це були поховання повоєнного періоду. Тут були поховання воїнів НКВД, які боролися з українською повстанською армією, партійних працівників і комсомольських працівників. Були також тут буквально декілька таких цивільних поховань, там, зокрема, директора школи. А потім в 60-70-ті роки тут перепоховали з міського кладовища поховання загиблих в літа 44-го року, часів Другої світової війни. І, власне, тому вже воно отримало назву часів і Другої світової війни.
Вічна пам'ять погибшим від рук україно-буржуазних націоналістів в 45-му році. Це виходить,
Ні, вони загинули 26 березня 45-го року. Так.
Ну, але ще фронту тут вже не було.
Тут вже не було. Тут фронт...
Тобто, виходить, що тут фронт пішов на захід, а тут...
Там вже були події під Берліном.
Я
тут фронт пройшов десь в серпні місяці 44-го року.
Це виходить поховані не від рук, не загибли від рук нацистів, а від рук УПА.
Так, звичайно.
Це ж ми по могилі лазимо, виходить.
Ну, не по могилі, ну тут фактично. От ми бачимо, тут фактично була братська могила, був обеліск і були, власне, написано братська.
But we're walking over the mass grave. No, not really. So here was the mass grave.
Братська могила, і навіть прізвища були виписані. Реально загиблі літа 1944 року. І згідно облікової документації тут мало бути мінімум 56 загиблих. Ну, відповідно, мінімум було 56 загиблих в часи Другої світової війни, червоноармійців, фронтовиків. Але як показує, власне, практика, те, що і реальна ситуація, що була проведена, я не знаю, чи недбалість, чи фальсифікація, тому що згідно облікових і архівних документів масова могила мала нараховувати 56 загиблих. І ми бачимо, що тут є тільки 2 труни, тут може бути максимум декілька останків.
Чомусь перерізаний череп?
Череп перерізаний з тою цілею, щоб можна було конкретніше встановити причину смерті. Після того, як людина померла, було якісь запитання слідчих органів щодо причини смерті, то проводилося вскриття.
Тобто виходить, що це не загиблий, а це померлий своєї смерті?
Це є скелет жінки в міліцейській формі. Тут є, бачите, гудзики від такої характерні для форми військової або міліцейської, але в неї є от рештки берета і зірка. Берет з зіркою носили в міліції жінки.
Yep, you can see the star over here.
Що б ти сказав людям, які не зовсім розуміють, ну, коли що там пам'ятники демонтовують добре, але нащо вже докопуватись до останків, ну, можна просто тут змінити табличку, там написати невелика вітчизняна, Друга світова, роки, і там, може, якусь історичну довідку. Чому так принципово все-таки кістки перебирати з центру міста на цвинтар, якщо це йдеться про радянську армію?
Ну, знову ж, ми говоримо про те, що є загально прийнята світова практика, що загиблі і померлі мають бути спеціально відведені для цього місцях.
А в Європі ніде немає?
В цілому світі це є кладовище. Це є, власне, завершальний етап декомунізації та деколонізації. Ми це робимо цивілізовано. Ми проводимо відповідно до відповідної методики, пошукової методики, працюють відповідно фахівці, ми їх проводимо ексгумацію і ми їх перепоховуємо на кладовищі. Це є цивілізовано, без жодної, скажімо, такої брутальності чи наруги. Комуністи це робили, просто розрівнювали бульдозером.
Як ви ставитесь до того, щоб переносити такі пам'ятники на цвинтар або взагалі їх прибирати?
Це русський пам'ятник. Так, що ж його звідси забирати? Забрати зовсім і ніде не переносити.
Не треба, але там...
Fucking bass, dude! Damn straight! Dun, dun.
Це ж справжня могила.
То, що кажуть, я не знаю.
Москалі нам ніхто. Ніхто, убрати і все.
Але їх кажуть, наруга над могилою, дехто каже.
Хто ж каже наруга? Ми такого не кажемо. А хто каже, ну...
А що вони там з нашими роблять?
Наруги не роблять.
Вони уничтожили все, що можна. А ви тут хочете...
Ясно. Дякую за вашу думку.
He's actually standing. He's just not very tall. Pretty cool base to guys. I liked that video. That was interesting. I'm still waiting for a decommunization in my city. The fucking monuments getting removed and shit. But I don't give a fuck. leaving to Odessa, maybe in like like it's gonna take some time. All right.
My name's Dante.
Why do these foreigners live in Russia? Dante, English teacher.
I'm 27 years old and I'm from the United States.
Oh, okay, so from what state?
This guy is about to get kidnapped by KGB and fucking traded for some Russian criminal warlord.
Colorado.
Would you support? Bro, get them out of this fucking thing. I don't even give a fuck if they're fucking substituted with anything. Just remove that shit. Fucking burn that shit into the fucking ground. Remove the Soviet cringe fucking dog shit, dude, okay? All the people who are like 90 years old and support the Soviet stuff, remove them too.
Hi, my name's Kanchana. I'm from Sri Lanka and I'm 26 years old.
Hello, everybody. My name is Amos Ndukwe, and I'm from the United
States
of America, and I trade crypto and stocks, and I run a online casino.
Yeah, so my name is Alexander Lee. I'm from Knoxville, Tennessee, and I'm 24 years old.
Hello, my name is Jorge. I am 25 years old. I am from Ecuador.
How did you get to Russia in general for the first time? Why you decided to stay here?
Originally, I was traveling around Europe, and a friend of mine said that any foreigner can come to Russia as long as they buy a ticket to a Euro Cup 2020 football match. And I thought, why not? So my brother and I, we immediately bought a ticket and flew to the earliest game, and that's how I got into Russia.
You took this opportunity to visit Russia, and you liked it.
I loved it. It was better than expected. It did feel like America a little bit, just everything's a lot bigger compared to Europe. So I definitely did love it. The food and the people are very nice. So
Stop the cap!
Because I wanted to study the language from a linguistics point of view, I guess. I got a scholarship to study in Russia. I passed my final exams and there was an interview and everything, and with my results I managed to win a scholarship to study in Russia. Actually in Sri Lanka.
Now he's getting a fucking degree that is nowhere, it's not recognized anywhere in the world. Well done.
Sri Lanka, it's studying in Russia is kind of popular, from the past, even during Soviet Russia. I even have an aunt who studied in St. Petersburg in Russia, and she studied in Russian during that time. And so I was kind of nervous to study in Russian because Russian is not my language, so first language. So I was kind of confused about that, how would I approach this? But she gave me confidence, it's okay, you'll study, you'll learn the language and it'll be fine. So it's kind of popular to study in Russia.
Did he learn the language?
There are some opportunities to study here, and I managed to win the scholarship. So I thought, okay, let's try in Moscow. Yeah.
In 2017, after high school, I decided to take a gap year and come learn Russian in Moscow. And I liked it so much, and I decided to stay. So that's sort of how I got here.
So can you...
Bro, are they married? Because when I visited Thailand, and then when I saw some of my co-workers staying there and living, they all had Thai women. So it's oh, that's why you're staying. I see.
Name some positive aspects of living here in Moscow.
No women here, noticed?
I'd say a positive aspect is that Russians tend to be...
Women.
In general, polite. They don't enter your personal bubble really that much. In the United States, people are a lot more kind of outgoing and try to talk with you, which you enjoy in the States, but here it's...
People are polite in Russia. They don't talk to you like in United States.
Kind of nice to have people leave you alone. Actually, I just love Moscow because Moscow is a mix of both modern stuff. We see these modern areas. There's lots of parks, there are lots of places to walk around, and I love history. I really love history. It's my passion. So I like going to museums and everywhere. I just enjoy all these aspects.
Museums.
Moscow is a combination of both modern and historical aspects. So I just love this city.
First of all, freedom.
I can't. This is this video is, I don't...
Diversity in Moscow.
Diversity? in Russia.
There is a lot of opportunities, not just in study.
I spend most of my time in St. Petersburg. I've just come to visit Moscow now, recently. However, there are a lot of amazing things I like about this country. I would say the size is the biggest.
I've been in 2 cities, St. Petersburg and Moscow. Country is amazing, bro. He doesn't know, dude. He thinks that all the other cities are the same.
Country in the world has everything. Everything has beaches, has mountains, has cities, has everything you can possibly imagine. The people.
Is there a country in the world that doesn't have beaches and mountains and cities?
Are very, very nice, very respectful. Always have a great time. The food here is insane. So many different types of cuisines, so many different types of cultures, all put into one. I love it.
Czechia doesn't have what? What are they? They don't have what? We have mountains in Lithuania at all?
Language also. I have a tutor. I'm studying. I really want to learn the language. It's a beautiful language to me.
And now, can you, if there's some aspects that you don't like here in Moscow?
Actually, not that much. Like, I'm thinking people at first, when you get to know like Russian people, they're kind of like cold and like they don't talk that much. It's not like they're not smiling.
Is foreigners in Russia trying to justify their horrible life choice?
And like that, but like even like I study in a group where I'm the only foreigner and all my friends in my group are Russians. But
diversity, by the way. Somebody mentioned diversity, right?
But like when I get to know them and I get to like close with them, like we become really good friends and everything, which is something nice. So like my first thing was like, why are people like so cold and everything? But later I realized, no, it's just how they are. But like later when you get to know them, they're really friendly and really nice.
Say that are very difficult. I would say paying for things.
Is there a country in the world where people like super unfriendly and not nice when you get to know them? I just wonder that, I just wonder.
I can't use my American card. I can't use Apple Pay. Things
get fucked, boy.
Simple as that are, have become very, very difficult, and people don't know English that much here.
You're crypto, bro. Why would you use that anyway? Pay with Bitcoin, loser.
That's one.
Germany, that's not true.
I do travel a lot. I've been to many, many countries, and even in the most strangest countries, you would have never imagined they just know English. And I don't see that here, and it makes it difficult. But it does force me to learn Russian, so it's good and bad. But yeah, it's pros and cons to everything.
And why?
I like the language. I like the Russian language. 5 minutes after. I am literally forced to learn Russian if I want to exist here. So there's you win some, you lose some. Dude, what is he talking about?
I do think Russian people don't really speak English that good.
I will say this. I think it is because the passport that they have is not the strongest, so they don't, they mostly go to Turkey, or they don't leave Russia, and tourists don't come in a lot, English-speaking tourists. So there really is no benefit or no real reason to learn English. But I think it would help Russia a lot if everybody knew English. I mean, if
they go to Ukraine also, it's a trip one way usually, so they don't come back. They don't share their experiences of their trips to Ukraine.
Passport was a little bit stronger, then they'd be able to travel more, and then English would be, more widely used in Russia.
So, nowadays, many foreign people, they opt for other countries rather than Russia to move to. So why do you think, as an American, why people decide not to move to Russia, not to live in Russia?
Well, I think there's a pretty high barrier to entry as a foreigner living in Russia. I think that first you have to speak the language. And it's also hard to get a visa. I mean, you can't just show up to the Russian consulate and knock on the door. I mean, I've done that actually, and be like, hey, I need a visa. And
bro, these guys are insane. They actually have like this fetish. What if these are like actually what... Honestly, maybe this is the people that I should respect for what they did. Because I always say that if you're a Russia simp, if you're a fucking Soviet jerk-off loser, right? Just go and live in Russia. Maybe that's what they did. Maybe these are Hassan viewers, Maybe they just have the balls to actually live out their degenerate convictions,
It's it's actually really hard to.
I respect that way more when people live in America and complain how bad America is and how great the other countries are. Just move there. They did.
Get a visa to come to Russia, so I think the barrier is quite high. But if you travel here and you like it, I think there's ways, you can figure out
If you come here and you like it,
a way to stay in Russia.
you can try and figure out a way to stay.
So
Oh, really? As opposite to like not liking it and not staying?
I think it comes from a long history of Russia being like the villain, especially like our films. It's always Russians are always the bad guy, and there's this kind of feeling that Russia is just where the enemy is. So I think there's a lot of misinformation about how Russian people are, but also people don't realize that the country itself is also very beautiful, that the architecture is beautiful, that people here are friendly. So I think it can be a lack of information.
Bro, how are they like contradicting each other? This is so funny. People are friendly, but also at the same time they don't speak to you.
As well as you have countries like Korea and Japan, which are very technologically developed. At least that's the idea people are given. So maybe they want to go to a very technologically advanced country. So I think it just
people, Westerners who want to live in like Japan or Korea are just fucking weebs.
kind of depends on
maybe in Korea not so much. Maybe Japan 100%.
where they get their
Korea is not weeb country though, right?
information. I think there's just been many years of this Russia's the villain
Koreans seem to always be angry? No shot.
kind of propaganda.
Their food is fucking great. Apparently they have the highest stomach cancer rate in the world. But dude, seeing the fucking food they eat, I would get stomach cancer for that shit.
Propaganda, you could say, in the West.
I definitely believe it's just fear-based and propaganda-based, and one thing that I do notice is that
Propaganda? Can you talk a little bit more about propaganda? What do you mean by that?
Americans, like, despite what they say about Russia or whatever, if they meet a Russian in person, they're going to be very kind, very nice, very respectful, very caring, and treat them.
Guys, I can show you some videos of good Russians. Unfortunately, it's TOS. So if you want to see some of those, you can navigate to my Telegram group, and you will see very peaceful Russians just, resting.
Like anybody else. It's very easy to sit back at home on your couch and have these crazy opinions, but when you're really faced with somebody from the country, they're most likely going to be very understanding. And that's another thing. There's a disconnection and between the people. If they don't meet, then it's just going to be words thrown and nobody's ever going to see what it's like. But
some of our guys from Ukraine meet some of the guys from Russia. It doesn't end well for the Russian guys, so I don't know. I don't know what they're talking about. Maybe it was just a very heavy subject. I don't know.
From what I've heard and what I know as an American who's here, people have nothing against me. I have nothing against Russians, and most Americans have nothing against Russians.
Literally, a Russian streamer was streaming in English. Somebody hit him in the face and said, "Speak Russian." I can't imagine what this guy is actually like. I don't think he actually talks to anyone. No shot, dude.
As well, and if they did have a chance to meet, they'd realize that Americans and Russians are very, very, very similar. I've lived in 5 countries in the world, and there's no other place where there's the most similarities between 2 people.
What? Okay, my guy.
I don't think that most Russians and Americans will ever come to realize that because of what we hear on the news and stuff, but we're very, very, very similar people.
I think it's like the general image of Russia to the world. Like people see Russia and think it's like Soviet Union, like it's old, people are like this. It's not as developed as
Bro, leave Moscow or St. Petersburg. There's literally 2 cities. Are you fucking trolling?
Western countries. So this bad image about Russia is here. So I think that's the main reason. But it's not like that. Like
just drive for an hour outside of Moscow. Don't even go far.
Like Russia, like I see Moscow and I see such an amazing city, such a great, like it's a big city.
And then I see St. Petersburg, also great. And then in other cities too.
Really clean, it's really nice. There are lots of places to see. Like people don't know that. People think like there's this bad image about Russia, but like I have friends, like as I told you, I have a good friend from France, and like he really loves Moscow. Like he says it's like one of the best cities in the world, and like people should come and see like how the difference is without just looking at the internet and thinking about his opinions.
Well, I think there are a lot of reasons. I believe that the woke culture is spreading, and it's really a virus. And
I hate woke culture, you know? I'd rather visit a country where I'm gonna be called the N-word on the street all the fucking time, and when people are gonna disrespect me for speaking English, and you know, I prefer that.
I believe that coming to Russia, you're able to, you know, stay away from that toxicity.
That toxicity, right?
That nonsense. You know, they say that, you know, America is the home of the free and the brave, but we're not able to think freely and have our own opinions in a sense that...
What do you mean? Literally any fucking loser in America has and wants and spreads their own fucking stupid opinion. Bro, you can't even shut the fuck up about what the fuck you think about everything, even right now, bro. You grew up there, motherfucker. It's instilled in you. Russians don't give opinions because they don't respect that at all. You talk to a Russian, he's like, I don't know what to say about this situation. I'm apolitical, thank you. I'll have to go to my 8 to 5 fucking 24/7 factory job to make fucking tanks.
That if you don't agree with what's going on with
this guy won't shut the fuck up about everything, dude. True, real
woke community, then you could, you know, lose your job, lose your bank account, and get canceled, and all these other things. And
did he get canceled or some shit? Why is he a crypto fucking casino fucking?
People feel like Russia's a safe space for them to be able to be themselves.
I have friends in South Asia. They liked Moscow. Study here, work. I would like to say that, especially in South America, there are people that like here study, especially medicine, work here.
Hello guys, we have in our medicine class today a couple of students from different countries. That's why today I'm going to have to speak English. So we have an amazing opportunity, a practical use for your medicine knowledge. Here are these little leaflets, papers, just sign them up. Don't worry, it's in Russian, but it basically says that you are okay with going to study in the field, you know, and just sign this real quick for me, and just get in the bus and we'll go on a trip, okay? Practical cases for your medicine. It's going to be very interesting, you know, it's going to be in open nature, you know, drive is gonna take a little bit. Hopefully we'll get there in one piece. I mean, I'm just kidding, right? Anyway, grab your stuff and...
for me, I didn't hear about this problem.
What makes you, like, top things that makes you stay here in Russia?
There's actually a handful. Like, obviously for me right now, my girlfriend's a big part of it.
I fucking knew it, dude. Of course. There's a reason these are all dudes. I fucking told you, bro.
I love the public transportation in Moscow. It's amazing.
Okay, what the other guy's gonna say? I don't know about the crypto guy, but...
Amazing. Healthcare is so cheap. If I need to get some dental work done, I'd much rather do it here than the United States. If I get...
dental work in Russia, well, it's not very popular there, so...
in some kind of accident, I'd much rather do it here than the United States. Cost of living is significantly cheaper. Even though I get paid less than I would in the States, it's just a fraction of the price. My phone bill is super cheap. My internet's super cheap. In general, life is...
What's the point of internet if you can't visit like a bunch of fucking... when you don't have access to any fucking social media?
It's much easier to live a comfortable life here, I think, than in the United States.
I'm just, honestly, like I said, I'm treated better here. Like, just, I'm invited to more events. Like, I was at St. Petersburg Economic Forum last week.
What an event. Well done.
I was, you know, top university in Russia for study of international relations. I attended, and I'm graduating right now. So I just feel like I'm treated
Wow,
better here.
useful degree.
And there's just more opportunity.
International relations. Russia is really acing those, you know. Very big minds got their degrees there.
And it's really weird when
social media blocked in Russia. Yeah, some of the websites are blocked. Instagram is blocked, right? What else is blocked? Not sure about Twitter. No, Instagram is blocked. Facebook? Is Facebook blocked?
in when I tell this to my friends in America, and also to say this to my Russian friends, they think I'm kind of crazy. But just judging from my personal experiences, this is what I've experienced, and I'm just, that's what I've experienced.
I enjoy the freedom of like traveling around the city and everything, and I would like even at night sometimes, like it's kind of safe to be real with you. Like it's kind of safe like to walk around at night, even if you like in the main streets and everything. It's really safe. Like I've been like walked around the city even at in the middle of night with like friends, and it's like it's really fine. I just enjoy the city even at night. So like also I enjoy the museums and everything, as I said before, and I just realized when I see the city, it's like it's so huge and everything. So like when you see that, it's amazing. It's amazing visiting parks and everything. Yeah.
Speaking about communicating with...
Why didn't he ask the reasons from other guys? I wanted to hear that they all have girlfriends, and that's the reason. Why is he doing that thing? The triangle. I'm an investor, you know? And I invest into things, mostly crypto things. Mostly I lose money, but I won one time, big time, so...
Russian people. I'd like to now to speak about Russian mentality. So how can you describe it, and in general, who is a Russian person? Like,
okay, I would say that it becomes more obvious when you've traveled a lot.
Bro, I really need to I think it's gonna be fine. I need to learn how Andrew Tate speaks. It's not easy to copy him, but I feel like it would be funny. Such a character, dude.
I would say there are very strong gender roles in Russia. I'll begin with that. And the man has his duty, the woman has...
Bro, why is this guy so insecure about his fucking sexuality, dude?
Her duty. Protect, provide, that's the man's job, and the woman is to be nurturing, be caring.
Bro, you understand that. Listen, to all the people who are super afraid of the woke culture, you will always find people who are traditional. If you want to do a traditional manly role in the relationship, you can find a person who is reciprocal to that. Absolutely, dude. If you don't want to, you can find them too. It's great to have options.
Whatever's okay in whatever household, but these two things are pretty obvious and pretty defined in the home in Russia, from what I see. And I think that is what a Russian is. They are, a Russian man is a man who's strong, and his goal is to be strong and take care of his family. And a Russian woman is to nurture and make the home peaceful and happy and loving and caring, and raise the children. I think that's what a Russian family would be like, and from my opinion.
I mean, you kind of look at you can take Japan, United States, and Russia, for example. In Japan, there's very skinny guys, and that kind of tends to be what girls are attracted to. So they're kind of throwing away with their typical terms of masculinity. It seems to work for them. In the United States, we have a lot of gender fluidity and things like this, kind of taking more prominence. But here in Russia, I feel
this is just 100%. Who cares? We're making fun of it. Just relax, bro.
There's this fear of change. It's always been this way across the world that men are strong and they should be protectors and stuff like this. And I think Russians might just be afraid to lose that identity that they've grown up with, instead of trying to move towards something more progressive. I'm not really completely sure.
I would say cold at first, but warm later. When you get to know them, they're really nice and really kind. That's what I would say. In short.
Okay, and why do you think at first sight Russian people seem to be cold? Why they're not so nice at the first sight? Why like this?
I don't know. I think there's maybe they have some trust issues or something. I don't know, with foreigners maybe. But when you get to know them, and especially when you speak in Russian, they're really amazed. They're oh, очень хорошо говорит по-русски, and that's an opening for you to be friends with them. Yeah.
I think that being American, my experiences will be very different from somebody who's came straight from Africa. I think that when I speak and when I introduce myself and tell people, they're very excited, you know, because the movies, the music, everything American, politics, whatever, whether or not it's good or bad, it's just interesting, and they don't really have a chance to go to America. And I think a lot of Russians have a dream of going to America at one time or another. And so my experiences would be very different and are very different from my friends, even in Europe, who are
let the dreams stay dreams. Dude.
African. You know, they don't get
Never
treated
happen.
the same way that I do. And now, Russians may be colder, but I think it's definitely due to the weather. Because even in New York, the East Coast, people are very cold. They don't like making new friends because it's very cold. But if you go down south to Texas, people are very nice, very respectful. You go buy something at the grocery store, the cashier is like, hey, how you doing? What's your name? Where are you from? And I think it's something you find when you go into hotter, warmer climates. I lived in Sweden for 2 years. It's very cold. They don't really like to talk to new people. However,
I mean, that may be not so crazy, actually.
I'm American, and they're extremely happy and excited to talk to me. I'm in Russia.
I mean, that could make sense, right? That's an interesting perspective. I never thought about it that way. When it's cold, people don't like stop on the street to chit chat because it's fucking cold, right?
It's cold.
Maybe
They're extremely excited.
It's kind of, and then it kind of grows like with time, societally.
And happy to talk to me. And I think that
maybe
these
there's
factors all come into one. The weather
something
is
to
definitely a huge thing.
Yeah, I mean, the weather here is really harsh and everything. Like when I started here, like I used to get colds and everything during the winter. It was really hard. I used to take like tablets every day. But like now I'm really used to, like I lived like 4 years here. So like now I'm really used to the weather and everything. And I like
Russian mentality is very...
He liked what? Oh, they cut?
Prudent. I think that Russians are... They're much more to themselves than Americans, which that's something I miss about America. I think, you know, I miss like people just like waving to each other, like hello, like, and very open. But some people criticize Americans as being superficial because of that, exactly. But I think Russians are sort of like a hard nut, almost. Like the outside is very hard, but once you get to the inside and you get to know a Russian person, it's very, really good.
They have a hard shell, but inside they're all soft and fucking pussies, degens.
So I think Russians are a little bit more to themselves than Americans, but once you get to know them, they're pretty cool.
They build this shell around themselves, but in reality, they're insecure as fuck.
Russian people, there are like good friends. They love to talk, to share things. I know people, Russian friends, and they help you when you can...
What? Friends help you? No shot. No way. Can't be. What, guys? When you have friends, they will help you? Only in Russia, I bet. Like, bro, these fucking examples, dude.
Russian. And I could say that this is the like problem when you came first time.
What's the problem, man? You have a problem. Yes, I have to go to another city, but I don't have a car. It's okay. I just got a new car. It's a new Lada. You can take it, go to another city and come back. Really? You will... Where'd you get that? Oh, it was, you know... just kind of happened, you know, family things. But don't worry, man. Just take it and be sure to come back, though, okay?
Here, you can speak well Russian, but after that, there's no problem for me.
I have some colleagues, friends, Russian friends here. Do they generally differ from your friends from the US or maybe other foreign friends you have?
I'd say more pessimistic, maybe. I mean, that I guess could be part of the Russian mentality. Either
pessimistic Russians, but they have so many things to be excited about.
There's a bit more pessimism in general. I'll say something optimistic, and I'm always met with the same response. Doesn't matter who, like, oh, that's the American speaking in you. Like, that optimism is because you're American.
Yeah, I think that Americans and people in the West just don't understand Russians, and I think that Russians are actually much more
But wait, somebody said that Americans and Russians are very similar.
Similar to Americans, especially Americans living in the South, you know, where I'm from in the U.S. I think there's a lot of similar values that people share. So I think it's a myth that Russians hate Americans, to be honest. I think that's ridiculous, to be honest.
Okay, and
similar values, people in the American South and Russians, like believing that the president is almighty, being afraid of the state, afraid of speaking their own mind against the government. Are those are the ones that are very similar?
have you personally ever faced some maybe racial things, racial discrimination here in Russia, some racist maybe
Dude, we're gonna know the answer right now if he's capping or not.
Statement.
Because we know the answer, right? Let's hear.
From Russian people, so or maybe some like situations like this.
I've never faced any.
Yeah, bruh, dude. Okay, no fucking chance.
Any racial discrimination in Russia, and the only thing that has happened is people ask to take pictures with me, but that's totally fine. And if I had never seen a black person before and one was walking right by, I would ask to take a picture as well, and I would stare, and I don't take staring.
But somebody said that it's very diverse. It's the only black person in whole Russia.
As anything rude, it is what it is. It's, you know, people are interested, and that's just leave it at that. You know, I don't like to dig into things and bring things up where there's nothing. You know, people are always very nice and very respectful and very caring. And I've traveled. My ex-girlfriend, she's Russian, and I.
Ex-girlfriend Russian? What about the current one?
Spent a lot of holidays with her family. They didn't speak any English, and they were all loving and taking care of me, serving me.
How much money does he have? I don't care if he's fucking purple, okay? Get him here, make him stay here. He needs to get me a car, okay? Because, you know, the car that we got from your brother is, it's already broken. It's Lada, it's a piece of shit. We want the Mercedes. Make him come here, okay? I can't get a car from you because you're a woman, but I don't have any sons left, so I need a new Lada. I mean, Mercedes. Let's go. Do the woman thing.
Me, and I always felt at home. I never felt like I was a second-class citizen or people were treating me less than. So, no, never faced anything in Russia ever.
Actually, yeah, I think like most of them are like kind of serious and like there's no funny stuff. There's nothing. They're just serious, but it's good. Like there's no like harassment or anything. Actually, I had like good.
Is that his girlfriend in the back?
Experiences with Russian people, like there was no like problems with people actually. Like even though I was a foreigner, like I talked to them if I want to like find a road or something. Like they're really helpful. They're like, oh, you show me this and this way, we go this way. Like I had back in Tula, I had a friend, it's me and an Indian friend, and we were trying to find a road. We didn't know where to go, and we couldn't like barely speak Russian because we were just starting to learn the language. And we just asked some person. He's like, okay, go this way, go this way. Like he showed us the straight. He came with us and showed us all.
Damn, one guy showed you where to go. No racism in Russia. Defeated racism.
The way to the market that we wanted to go. Like, so I had some good experiences. So I think, overall I have a positive image about the people and everything. So that's my main thing. Like, if you respect the culture, if you respect the people, like, you won't face that kind of problems. That's what I think.
Honestly, I think I'm treated better in Moscow than I am in the U.S. Like, I think.
Wow. Of course.
As a straight white male, I think I'm treated better in Moscow than I am.
Dude, bro got fucking Twitter brain.
Yes, and
dude.
It's kind of ironic because as an American citizen, I'm treated better here than I am there.
They hate white males. They're in America. That's why I left. I couldn't handle what was happening there.
And I think one of the reasons for that is because I think meritocracy is almost dead in America. I think affirmative action completely killed meritocracy.
Affirmative action? Is it going to come back? It's canceled now.
But in Russia, I mean, meritocracy, it seems like it's alive.
Starsky made a collab with Johnny FD? No. Is it? It's a good one too? He's not like... Oh, no. He just doesn't know, huh?
alive and well. I mean, at the university, it seems like all my classmates
Somebody should send him a message.
are like super smart and super hardworking. So that's one of the things that I like about living in Russia. I'm just treated better here. It seems like that's just my personal experience. Whereas in the U.S., it's just there's so much tension. There's so much societal tension.
You know, as a straight white male, I'm treated better in Russia. You know, if you're not a straight white male, sucks to be you. I don't know why would you come to Russia. You know, God forbid you're black. They're all racist here. Cut that out.
Racial tension.
We have a dude on the other corner.
And it's honestly just depressing living in the U.S. as a young person. And I think there's just more
depressing living in the U.S. as a young person. Let me see.
Opportunity for young people in Russia than there are.
Stop! Shut the fuck up, dude. There's more opportunity. Listen, as a young person in Russia, there's so much more opportunity than in U.S. You can go to war, or you can go to war, or like if you don't want to do that, you can go to war. Like, bro, it's, you know.
In the U.S., so.
I have seen that Russian people seem to not like Southerners as.
Or if you don't want to go to war, you can go to jail and then go to war. Like, it's crazy, dude.
As much, maybe like from Kazakhstan or something like this. And I'm not like the whitest person, so I have been, I think, profiled by police.
Bro, he's not even black and he's being profiled.
They've stopped me. You know, I'll be walking down or in the metro with my girlfriend. She'll be wearing a backpack. It'll be fine. But if I'm wearing the backpack, they'll stop me and scan it. So I notice it there, but it happens in the States too. So it's not something I'm super surprised about.
What's up?
Yeah, Russian police, they tend to check your ID if they see that you're not absolutely white. That's true.
Yeah, I even had an instance where they wanted to see something on my phone I didn't quite understand because my Russian wasn't as good back then. And they like were pressing buttons on my phone, like getting me to some weird place. And I had no idea where they brought me to, but they like looked at some number and noted it down. And I was like, okay, whatever.
Did they explain the reason for it?
No, they didn't.
And do you think that in the United States?
No, Kiev opportunities will not open again. I've heard that tourist spot is permanently closed for Russians. It's the current best hot spots are Bakhmut, kind of in the Zaporizhia region, you know, a little bit in the Luhansk region. Donetsk is a big spot too.
Situation might happen with police.
Absolutely not. I mean, I feel like in the United States, more people understand that police don't have the right to touch you or your things without a warrant, and they will exercise that right to say, no, you cannot unless you have a warrant. So, but here I feel like police might not care as much about whether or not they're allowed.
You might feel that, just getting little vibes from police that they might not care about anything. Yeah.
To do it. I'd say in states people might stand up for themselves a little bit more often.
Yeah, so my interaction with police in the U.S. is much more negative than my interaction with police in Russia. I think that police in the U.S. are like on
He already had interactions with police in Russia? I wonder why.
A complete power trip. But whereas in Russia...
I mean, it's not like there is like a dictator that gives them carte blanche to do anything the fuck they want, right? Or, you know, anyway.
It's almost like they're not like an NPC. Like police in the U.S. are like these NPCs, and they just like are on this power trip, and it's just, I don't know, it's so tense. Whereas in Russia, I've been stopped by the police like once or
one of the reasons might be, by the way, because every fucking person has a fucking gun in America, and police are tripping balls because they don't want to get shot in a fucking nanosecond because you look like a fucking guy who would do such a thing.
Twice, just randomly, and asked for my passport.
Bro looks like a school shooter. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not surprised police treated him badly.
But it's almost like Russian police like are actually, they think
they're actually NPCs, and I don't care about their lives.
Can they understand, and they kind of...
Are you oppressing me, a straight white male, because I'm a straight white male?
Think through things logically, and it's not this very aggressive interaction. So my interaction with police in Russia has only been positive, to be honest. Even though in the West, people make it seem like it's like this police state.
I mean, it's not a police state, right? Like, I mean, I had a good positive interactions with them.
Judging from my own, you know, observations here, I think the U.S. is actually more of a police state than Russia.
Try to just is like, oh, interesting point. So we have this a white piece of paper. Can you just hold it like here and stand there at the corner for 15 minutes? Just, you know, we just want to check something. Yeah, sure, I'm gonna do it.
No,
All right.
observations here, I think the US is actually more of a police state than Russia. So, it's almost like all the police in the US are former soldiers, and they come back from, you know, overseas conflicts with like PTSD.
That will never happen in Russia. I mean, they just don't come back, I guess, but some do. So.
And it's almost like the police in the US have become extremely militarized. You like see there's like these military vehicles essentially, but what they have like painted on the side of them, police. And so yeah, I think the police is much more militarized in the US for sure than in Russia.
The militarized Russian police is gone by now, but
so.
In the United
Sobor
States,
and shit like
presidents
that.
tend to change every 4 years, but in Russia the situation is a little bit different. Our president hasn't changed for more than 20 years. So does it affect?
He's already, bro. He mentioned Putin, and he's like already looking around. Look at his eyes.
More than 20 years. So does it affect your life maybe in some way? Does it influence your everyday life? Maybe you have some negative consequences from this fact, or maybe from other political aspects in Russia.
It doesn't affect my life in any way. Whatever works for Russia, and I'm just here, just living my life, you know.
I prefer not to comment on. I don't really have my own opinion on the political situation in Russia, you know.
I'm not really a political person. I don't
I'm not a political person, but all the reasons that I came here were political, so.
pay attention to it often. I just focus on finances and making sure my family's taken care of. So as long as I'm getting...
Oh, his family in Russia, I wonder.
What I need, then I have no issues.
Honestly, my views on a president being elected every 4 years have actually changed. Because when you live in the US and you have these massive swings between parties, and like one day you're living in like one country and the next day you're living in a completely different country.
Bro lives on the internet, my guy. Like, it's not true.
And it's honestly very destabilizing, and it's very nerve-wracking, honestly, when you live in a country where every...
Bro, I bet if you live in America and you like don't use Twitter, I think you can just live a normal, sane life.
4 years, like the...
Nobody's invading. You have the biggest military in the world. You have strong economy. You have access to all the fucking tools. You have lowest historical unemployment. Just fucking live your life. Why are you fucking looking into that?
The political party is changing. So my opinion honestly has changed living in Russia.
I like stability. I like when it's stably shitty.
There's more stability here.
Oh my god, the fucking clowns, dude.
Believe it or not, I mean, to a Western audience listening to this is probably think I'm like crazy, but I just feel like there's honestly more stability in Russia than there is in the US. I mean, I don't know how to explain it. That's just like my personal observation. So,
well, do you think that the fact that in Russia there is
stability in Russia, bro, I can't fucking believe it.
Well, the president has...
What about that, the thing that happened a couple weeks ago, like some dude, some bald guy decided to like take over the fucking power,
Changed for more than 20...
Oh, I bet he didn't get here though, right?
20 years, it helps to maintain stability in the country.
Absolutely, but you could also argue that in the United States, the presidents come and go, but the people behind them stay the same. And the deep state people, the people who...
Deep state? Bro, if the people are staying the same and the president is the only thing that changes, why the fuck would the country be different every fucking term? Didn't you just said literally the opposite thing? Didn't you just say that every term people change and countries doesn't feel super different every fucking time? Now you're saying it doesn't matter, it's the same fucking deep state controls everything? What the fuck are you talking about then, you fucking moron? I bet his fucking it says that he's a software engineer. I bet the only fucking shit he knows is HTML and CSS. Shut the fuck up.
Who are work in the State Department and CIA, NSA, they're not elected by the people, but they work for 20 years. So the people who are actually controlling the country in the United States.
CIA and NSA control the country. Good one. Oh, good one. I see you know your conspiracy well.
Not elected by the
Good
people,
one.
but they still are in power for, forever, for as long as they want to stay in their position. So
this is 1420.
I would say no. Like I live in with the university area, and I just focus on my studies and my work. So I would say no. I haven't faced that much issues. Everything's been calm there, and I try not to focus on that kind of stuff because I'm studying medicine in Russian, so that's already enough for me. And I have a lot of stress, and I have.
He's the same guy though, I
have to study everything. I have to translate stuff and understand the material and everything, and I really don't look at political stuff. I just focus on my work, and I really haven't been bothered by that stuff, and no one has bothered me with that stuff. So yeah, I just try to stay out of it and just focus on.
I'm just apolitical.
My goal.
Of course, now there's this situation of war and this stuff, but especially the relation between Russia and South America. I don't feel there is not problems. Students came every year here to study.
Educational system in Russia is actually better than the educational system in the United States. I think that in the past 20-25 years, the educational system, especially in universities, has come.
Because that's why, it's true, guys. You didn't notice how Russia leads the technological race in the world. Oh my God! Just stop, bro.
I think you cannot study, international relations, for example, in the U.S. without being completely indoctrinated with some sort of neo-Marxist, LGBTQ propaganda. You can't.
Bro, what are you talking about? The international relations? Who is winning international relations, my guy? On the international fucking stage. Who is ostracized, has no allies, and is literally alone in whatever the fuck they're doing? What the fuck are you talking about?
It's impossible to objectively study history without,
Objectively study history? In Russia, you can objectively study history in Russia. No shot, bro. This guy's fucking Nick Fuentes fan. He's not Hassan fan.
Studying history through the lens of some sort of critical Marxist theory. And it's crazy when I say this to Russian people. People in Russia think I'm crazy for saying this, that in America they study Marxism. But you just cannot escape that in the US when you're in the university system. So that's what I really like about living in Russia is that you.
But in Russia they teach you all those great American
can objectively study your subject in the university without being just inundated constantly and incessantly with this just propaganda all around.
The bro he's a Twitter fucking enjoyer, dude.
So,
holy shit.
So yeah.
I would definitely say it depends on the state. I mean, you got to look at the educational system in the United States. If somebody's from Tennessee, they're not going to be, the schools are not good at all. They have really, really low.
If you look at the Tennessee, the schools are not good. But if you look at Moscow and St. Petersburg, the paid schools, where the oligarchs have their kids, those are pretty good. Oh, fucking clicked something. Well, my fucking bad. When you look at the smallest, least developed cities in America and compare them to Moscow and St. Petersburg, you definitely feel the difference. Dude.
Quality education. When you go to the East Coast, Boston, New York, we all know Harvard University is the greatest university on earth. New York has amazing schools. The education system in the East Coast is the best in the entire country. So there's no coincidence why this person's experiences in Tennessee are drastically different from mine because, we have the best schools in the entire world in Boston.
I think there's a certain point when you learn about history, learn about civil rights, the history of civil rights. I think that's good. But I think once you get to a certain point where it's we have to punish white people and punish straight.
Dude, this guy is unironically like Nick Fuentes fan or some shit. Actually, white nationalist.
White males. It's beyond crazy at a certain point. And I think when I say this to Russian people, they think I'm insane. But that's the level to what it's gotten in the United States.
You are insane. they unironically think correctly.
It's all the time. You cannot escape this just propaganda in the U.S. of this diversity and inclusion. You just can't escape it, and it's really sad, to be honest.
Have you thought about relocating to another?
You know, I saw you talking to that black guy over there. I don't like it. Why is he here? I specifically changed the country so that I wouldn't see them. Just can't escape them, bro.
City maybe in Russia or another country.
Yeah, so my girlfriend and I have thought about moving to Sochi or somewhere more south where winters are shorter. There's more sun, just because that's...
Oh, I know a great place. Move to Crimea. You're gonna love it.
Nicer. I mean, I love Moscow, but I'm sure I would love other cities as well.
What other cities? Bro doesn't know. He doesn't know, bro.
As far as other countries, I do want her to come with me to the United States, at least for a few years. Just because, you know, I miss it. I haven't been back since I came here. I want her to be my family. And I want her to see what life is like there. And then from there, where we go, I'm not sure. Maybe we'll come back to Russia. Maybe we'll go to some other country. I know she would love Italy, but it's kind of up in the air.
Sincerely, I would like to...
You know what else is up in the air?
Stay here. It's a good country. You can make a life here.
Affirmative action sucks, putting people in position because of diversity and not skill. You understand that even without affirmative actions, universities still do that, right? They still prefer some people to other people depending on the diversity. You know that, right?
Of course, there are...
Like, for example, people who are like artists, or people who are sportsmen, you know? That's kind of technically also diversity. Also, affirmative action was cancelled, so.
Other chance. Maybe it depends of I can get this scholarship or not, but Russia is one of my places I would like to live.
So how long are you planning to stay?
They don't do it anymore. No point in discussing it.
Here in Moscow, maybe in Russia, or maybe you're planning to visit some other cities?
Yeah, honestly, I'm open. Like, I want to go where I'm treated best. And given right now, this time, I'm treated best in Moscow, so I want to stay in Moscow. But I'm open, you know, if things change, like, I'm open to move anywhere. Like, and also I'm graduating from university. I want to explore the world a little bit more.
You know, if Germany is going to do that thing all over again, I'm probably going to go there.
But yeah, there's a special place in my heart for Russia, and I definitely see my future here. So yeah, I think I will have a future in Russia for sure, long term.
I really haven't decided.
Long term, bro. Long term, nobody has future in Russia. Come on, son.
Like, I have to do an
Let's
exam
be
when I
real,
go back
yeah.
to my country after I finish. So I'm thinking I will do that exam, then I'll decide. I
Long
might even
term.
come back. Like,
Bro,
I
what the
like this
fuck?
place. So like, I might even come back and like do like my specialty or something, or maybe some other country. Like, I really haven't decided, but like, even coming back to Russia is also one of my options, of course.
We have a lot of viewers from the Western countries and the US. What can you say to them who are planning to move to Russia and who are afraid of being penetrated or killed here and all the stereotypes concerning Russia? What can you say to these people?
I could say I think it's a lot more safe than some Western media might make it.
Bro, what? I don't know what they're talking about. It's super not safe. There's literally hundreds of thousands of Russians. They're dying. What am I clicking? They're dying over like how many kilometers away from Moscow? Let's just, bro. It's like super close. Like, well, let's just be a little bit more generous. 600 kilometers away. This is a 6-hour drive, and there's literally hundreds of thousands of Russians die there. That's not very safe, my man. I wouldn't say so.
It out to be. Russians are probably a lot nicer than Western media might make it out to be. But if you're...
He means to say incarcerated, penetrated. What the fuck? No, he means penetrated. You know what I'm saying?
You're not feeling super,
yeah.
you know, samouverенность. I don't remember the English word for some reason. Confident about it. Then maybe wait a little bit. Maybe wait and see how the political situation kind of goes down.
Get the correct opinions about Russia.
Just wait until the political situation goes down, and then there's going to be so many different Russias you can choose from, you know. The northern Russia, southern Russia, you know.
Like, there are lots of, like,
Eastern,
fake news, like,
Western.
going around, like, about people, about the culture, about the city, and
Moscovia.
like, everything.
You know.
I think they should look for accurate sources, and, like, try to
Petersburg
understand,
People
like,
Republic.
maybe, like, talk to people who have actually been to the country, and, like, I mean, some people might, of course, have bad...
Recent intel reports from the Western military sources about 49,000 Russia. Link me that.
opinions, but for me, it's been already just been a great experience here. Like, something I'll never forget from my life. So, like, I would say, like, look for good sources of information, and like trusted sources. And like, if you're thinking of moving, of course, like, it's a big decision, of course. But like I would say, yeah, it should be one of your options, because like, it's a relatively safe city, and it's like a great city. There's a lot of like things you can,
you know, sometimes drones just hit it, you know, but it's like, whatever.
See, and
it's
like,
not gonna get worse than that, right?
Like, yeah, I would say Russia is a good country to
link me that, please.
visit.
You're saying some information, just link it. It's not gonna be that hard to find it, right? So just link it.
My source is that I made it the fuck up.
No, he says a source. Don't worry. Link it, dumbass motherfucker! Do you understand what I'm saying? Link it! Do you know what that means? Jesus fucking Christ, how many fucking times do I have to tell you? Like, what the fuck?
Blood trail, blood trail.
I said it like 5 different times. Was it so fucking hard? You all fucking stupid? Why are you spamming? Okay. New data suggests that 50,000 Russian deaths during Ukraine war. Independent Russian media. Independent Russian media shed light on one of the Moscow's closest held secrets. Should I read any further? It doesn't matter if other news articles, if the source is the independent Russian media. Do you not think it's like dubious at best? It can be anything. It could be fucking New York Post. I don't give a fuck. If they say that the source of the information is independent Russian media, does that tell you anything at all? Come on, man. This is fucking pathetic. They don't even know. They don't even say which one. Oh, Mediazona and Meduza, yes. There's independent Russian media. It's like Russian media outside of Russia, but it says 2 independent Russian media outlets, Mediazona and Meduza, working with a data scientist from Germany, Okay, using Russian government data to shed light on one of the Moscow's closest held secrets. Like, why would you? This is like people. This is an interesting. This is not the story that I read. How about you fucking link the story that you've read, huh? How about fucking that? Anyway, there was an interesting point. I believe in Africa. I don't remember in which country. A lot of people who were anti-COVID, they were saying in that specific, maybe it was Nigeria, I don't remember. They're saying, oh, in Nigeria, they don't have any vaccines and people are not dying. Turns out they just don't report the fucking COVID deaths, you know? Like, using Russian government data, and I understand that they may have some different departments that post some information about the deaths of Russians. I understand that. And they could, like, gather all that data and sift through it and come up with some conclusion. But there could be like missing in action. There's just like hundreds of thousands of people and they're basically effectively dead, but the government, for example, doesn't want to pay out the money. There could be many different reasons and many different ways how Russia can hide the numbers from official records. Like, Ukraine doesn't post their numbers, obviously, right? And Ukraine says that it's like in some directions, the difference could be from 5 to 9 times fold the losses of Russians versus Ukrainian losses. And I honestly believe that because we just don't treat people the same, you know? We care about people. We would rather wait for the aid, wait for the missiles, and spend them instead of human lives. Because we're having a long, like we're fighting using Western standards, and how many people like cope, not in my chat thankfully, but a lot of people cope that West doesn't give a fuck about lives. It's super not true, but because there's elections there, it's just basically that's it. The news stories included Wagner as well. Holy shit, my guy. What? NATO reported like 50,000 wankers dead. Only wankers. Like, no shot, bro. They're like, this is not fucking true. Like, yeah, sure. If you look at these numbers, they're like fucking insane. They're insane. 236,000, but it's like 300 people a day. The war is almost lasting for 1.5 years. Yeah, it could be less, and the way that these are calculated is by like also vehicle hits and stuff like that. Like, reality could be less, but how, like, there's ways you can calculate military losses of the enemy. There's like ways you do it, right? So like we went through this before, but for example, obviously our artillery hits like dudes, and they also calculated. Like, our military knows the numbers because you have to know. Because you have to know how many they had and how many they don't have anymore. You have to know. Now, are they releasing true numbers? Close to truth? They could have two estimations, the real one, where it's only like a video and footage, or like reports from the troops as well, and then the estimated one. And the way estimated is done is, for example, if you have a tank and you destroy a tank, right? If you destroy a Russian tank, it could be empty, or there could be just one driver inside. But if the whole crew is 3 people, they're gonna count it as a tank plus 3 people. You understand? So if it's like 1,000 tanks destroyed, it's like plus 3,000 troops, right? Same with like APCs. If APC has like 8 troops in their maximum capacity, they will, if Ukrainian army destroys an APC, they will count plus 8 casualties. That's a normal way to do it. In a military conflict, It's like by the book, so to speak. And yeah, the numbers could be higher because it could be like 4 people, right? But there's also like unprecedented amount of video footage. Like our guys are literally streaming the video footage from the drones to the headquarters. It's not fucking like recordings that they send out. They're streaming that shit. So, I don't know, man. I'm pretty sure that Ukraine has very, might even be more accurate than what Russia has. Numbers, especially considering how many Russian commanders lie, send their fucking troops into the meat grinder and say that they pushed and it took new positions and had 0 losses. Like, it could be the case that Ukraine has the truest numbers out of all parties involved. But are they reporting the truest numbers officially? It could be slightly higher. Is it too much higher? I don't think so. Like within like 20%, I would say. So yeah, I don't believe this 50,000 shit. It just doesn't make sense, bro. You may think it's a lot of people, and it is a lot, but look at the fucking scale. Look at the scale of this fucking thing. And we're not even including the first like month or so. It was insane losses all around here. But look at the front line right now. Jesus fucking Christ. Ah, fuck it. We'll just kind of estimate. Well, we gotta consider but let's say active front line. We're not gonna consider this. It's like 500 kilometers. 500 kilometer stretch. And there's like several echelons. There's like hundreds of thousands of people fighting. You don't think that out of those hundreds of thousands, there's going to be like casualties of like 300, 400, 500, up to 1,000 people a day, depending on the day? Russian did mobilization. Yeah, no shot. It's 50k. Dubious claim from a dubious source using dubious methods, okay? All right. Let's see those numbers go up with the cluster munitions, huh? How about that? That'd be fucking great. Anyway, let's end the stream for now. Thanks, boys, for tuning in. Excited that tomorrow is Friday, and then I'm gonna have a weekend, and then I'll work a week, and I'll have my vacation. Nice, gonna play Diablo, the new season and stuff. You know what I just figured out recently? That you can apparently make rares into legendary items in Diablo 4. I didn't know that. I hit level 100, and I didn't even know that's a thing. And thanks for 100 bits, appreciate that. We didn't do MRE today. We'll see if maybe tomorrow, maybe not. We'll see. I'm not actually... Yeah, you didn't know that? In Diablo 4, you can turn rares into legendaries. You can turn them into legendaries by imprinting an aspect. Oh, you knew? Yeah, I didn't know that. I kind of missed that, I guess. So I potentially trashed hundreds of good rares that I didn't know. Anyway. All right, boys. Oh, you can also imprint the same item several times. You can't extract the imprinted item, but you can imprint over and over again. Also didn't know that, but anyway, thanks for being here on the stream. Hope you enjoyed. Tune in tomorrow. I stream every day, so make sure to follow. Make sure to join my Discord. I also have Patreon for that extra juicy content, okay? And if you want, you can also support me by Patreon, PayPal, and credit card, right? Those are the best 3 ways to support me. I also have an Amazon wish list. You can buy something from there. It's on my Discord general. Somebody was interested in that, and then nobody bought anything. So fuck you for fucking...